husband, she must be a companion, a sweetheart, a wife, and a mother. She must stir his ambition, pull him through failure, and keep success from hurting him.
Y'all remember Becky back before she became feminist Karen? Back when she was honored to be the beacon of generational white fortitude and liberty. I'm talking casserole making, Bible toting, PT, Queen Becky. Let's build her back, baby. America needs her. We're the great white hope. Becky used to bake apple pies, wore pearls while kissing the 4th of July. She stood by her white man like porch flag flies. Now she's screaming on TikTok, telling gender lies. She used to whisper, yes, dear, whatever you need, I'll always be there. Now she's fighting government because she wants some manly chest hair. Never asked for nothing, always knew what I needed. Becky never denied me, begged I keep her seated. Proudly carry my children and to take my last name. A homemaker, Becky never wanted TikTok fame. Becky had morals and cleaved to her honor. She'd never tell our son that he could be our dyer. Build back Becky before she turned woke and got real messy. We want aprons, not activism. Let's fix the feminism cataclysm. Build back Becky before she fought for other races to win. Caucasian order must be restored so white men can make America great again. Build back Becky before she turned woke and got real messy. We want aprons, not activism. Let's fix the feminism cataclysm. Build back Becky before she fought for other races to win. Caucasian order must be restored so white men can make America great again. Back in the day before Roe v. Wade, Becky was quiet, even slightly afraid. Margaret Sanger rode in with her plan, not for white women to say, screw it, I don't need no white man. Becky, she created Planned Parenthood just for the blacks and built all those clinics to keep our white race pure, baby. She did it for eugenics. Build back Becky, we miss your meatloaf and your mom jeans stretchy. No more screaming on CNN. Come back home and love your white man again. Build back Becky before the view got you feeling all edgy. Let's unwoke the suburbs, tone down the sass so white men can lead again with class. Becky, you were the backbone of the good old West. You left white men alone. Yeah, you left us depressed. Carried our babies as a proud incubator, upholding white legacy. Now upholding it for later. My dear sweet Becky, what happened to you? Where'd you go? Where'd you run off to? I need you back home. I can't take it. The curse of Susan B. Anthony, I'm about ready to break it. Becky, please come home and get back in the kitchen. No more protests, no more bitching. Becky put America before all. Becky knew that without white America, America would fall. Honey, we're better together. We're making America great now, making it great for forever.
For those who've abandoned hope, we'll restore hope and we'll welcome them into a great national crusade to make America great again.
That's right, Becky. Get rid of that stupid blue hair and come on home, honey. Put down the protest sign, pick up that pie dish. Let's make American casserole great again, amen! No more of that believe all women and me too nonsense. No transformers, no chicks with dicks. George Washington bled for this land with grit. Becky, no more ranting like that sacrifice man. Shit! No more pronouns, just peace and grace. Let the white man lead the human race. We are in this together. We will make America great now. Make it great forever.
Oh goodness, shout out to everybody that's in the building. In the building, we are waiting on Stanley. I told Stanley I'd go ahead and get started for him. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Deacon Dave is Deacon Naker now. I believe that he's elevated himself to something new. Shout out to
Naker,
Deacon Dave. Now Deacon Naker. Deacon Naker? Yeah. Shout out to Solid Snake. Mike 123. Texas. Hey Texas. Hey Mike. Solid Snake. Dolomite. Hey Dolomite. We're in here. We're waiting on Stanley. His last show, it was like 12 hours. And he said he was coming back. So shout out to Stanley. The video that you guys just saw, that was my my song that I wrote. And yeah, I'm going to be dropping the video for you guys at some point or another. I've just kind of been holding on to it and giving it to you guys when I do, because it's so stupid that it's like, oh gosh, folks just might not get my humor, especially since women aren't funny, right? But, you know, I tried my best. I'll say that. If I say nothing, I tried, you know. In my writing and in my production. It's just like, why not? We have to build back Becky. I mean, because if we don't do it, who will, Deacon Dave? If we don't do it, oh goodness, hey, Roller Texas Gator Girl. Hey, it's so good to see you. It's so good to see you always, always. Deacon Dave, what are your thoughts? Do we need to build back Becky, or should we just send them on their way? Is Deacon Dave here? Mic check 1 2 1 2.
I seen a great one today. I'm pretty proud of it, but can't hear me. Hello.
Okay, I can hear you.
Hello.
Hello. I can hear
Oh,
you.
you can hear me now? Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Yeah. I think Becky could use some work, but you know she's not too far off. You know.
She's not too far off.
I
You don't
seen
think so?
an amazing one today. Hey, she was clearing the road so that way public. Yeah, she was clearing the road so public transportation can go through. I was pretty proud of that moment.
It was a Becky. You were proud of her. Let's
Hello?
just take a look as we're here waiting on.
Whoa.
It's only 15 seconds.
Hey.
Let's take a look. Let's take a look at this, Becky.
Hey,
There
Portia.
are more of
Hey, Stanley.
Hey, your camera's on.
Oh, shoot. Thank you, Stanley. Thanks, Stanley.
Not
So
that,
much.
not that. Well, anyway, you surprised me.
Yeah, surprised myself. I've been gone for so long. Listen, just trying to get back used
What,
to
you're
my.
out of practice?
Yeah, I am. I am out of practice, but I'll cut all of that out later.
Okay.
At least I'm not ugly. Hopefully, if I
Well,
was an ugly woman, I guess I'd care more. But
Well, you
because
know
I'm not.
what? If you were, Solid Snake would be the first to tell you. You know,
Oh, thank you.
I'm not done with you yet, Solid Snake.
Oh, solid snake, solid snake. So this is just like 15 seconds of this lady. I mean, I haven't looked at this one yet, but it just popped up. So, because I played my song for the intro while we were waiting on you. So let's see what she's talking about.
And there are of them.
Uh-oh.
There are more of us than there are of them. There are more of us than there are of them.
Mm-hmm.
If you see an ICE officer,
Mm-hmm.
stomp them the fuck out. There are more.
Stomp them out. Stomp them out. Shout out to this Becky. Yes. Mm-hmm. Are we stomping them out, Stanley? Do you agree?
Well, we watched a little bit of this weird thing they were doing in San Francisco where they're like making these weird noises while I guess they're attempting to stomp ICE agents out.
Mm-hmm.
I just kind of feel that if you're not going to change anything, why bother with all that?
Yeah, well, we have like revolutionaries and stuff,
Yeah,
so you have
okay.
to do it. Yeah, you have to make it. Okay, you know what, Stanley, did you hear about Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson?
Other than her dissent, is there more recent news?
Well, her dissent and Sotomayor responding to it.
This is the dissent I'm talking about is the birthright. Well, it's the injunction case.
Oh, so there's another from what's today? Thursday from yesterday.
I think I saw it. I didn't really read it,
Let me see.
but I
Where's-
do remember seeing that Sotomayor had somehow or another she and they didn't agree on something or another, which I mean is that's going to happen.
Yeah, honestly, I kind of whenever I saw, I was like, oh, wow. There's just I just totally wasn't expecting.
Why?
You could because it's Sotomayor. It's Justice Sotomayor. I would have never thought that she would have ever, came, and said, because she literally said that Ketanji Brown Jackson doesn't know the law.
You know what? I think that Ketanji Brown Jackson is actually the smartest justice there. She's definitely a better questioner. And
Yeah.
Amy Coney Barrett is a close second. And I'm not simping or anything. I literally think the two of them ask better questions than any of the other judges. Maybe what's her name? I haven't seen your moments when I recall names sometimes, but those two, I think they are the best questioners on the court, bar none.
Huh.
So, I mean, as my mother used to say, teeth and tongue will bite. They're all like opinionated people. So it doesn't, that some people might not get along, or, you may think that someone's opinion is crazy. Oh, well.
Yeah. So I just was, hold on. There's, let me.
I do think that Sotomayor is probably going to be the next to go. Her health just doesn't seem to, for some reason, she just seems kind of health issue-ish.
Yeah, that's too bad, Stanley. I think she's probably the smartest liberal on the court.
Yeah, well, of course you and I are going to disagree, but I don't take your opinion seriously, so it's okay.
Yeah, let's see. Let's take a look. I'm trying to find something from it where it's, let's see.
Well, we
Trying
know
to
that
find the most
Stanley
recent.
like Ketanji Brown, who can't even figure out what a woman is, which is
Okay, well, you know
female.
what? Everybody always wants to go that. She was very politically correct. It was Marsha Blackburn, senator from Tennessee, who asked that silly question. And if I had been there, I would have literally just blown up my chance to be a Supreme Court justice, because I would ask her, well, you appear to be a woman. Why are you asking me?
Well, she
So-
was the only one that.
Okay, man, let me help you out with this very silly and not original criticism. You can't define what a woman is. I probably
it's a-
could do it better than
It's a
you.
female.
Okay, and you would be
Woman is
wrong.
a
And you
female.
would be wrong.
And Kadanji
And you would be
couldn't
wrong.
even figure that out.
And you would be wrong.
So you think a
No,
woman
I
is
don't
a
think
male?
I know.
or-
Dude, stop asking me what I think. I'm telling you what I know. Woman is gender, female is sex. The two can be the same, but they are not joined at the hip.
So a man can be
Okay,
a woman.
dude,
is what
I'm
you're
not
saying.
gonna entertain this very stupid conversation. I've told you what the difference is. If you don't believe me, look it up. I don't get into this what's a woman thing because I think the people who ask the question are just showing me they don't know the difference.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you, Stanley. I do think that Trump did make it two genders, so that's cool.
You know what? Trump isn't
woman
smart enough
asking
to think outside of two genders.
The woman asking the question doesn't know what a woman is.
Well, you know what?
Is that
That's
what
Marsha
you're saying?
Blackburn, Republican of Tennessee.
So she
Yeah,
doesn't
Marsha
know
Blackburn,
what a
yeah.
woman is.
I literally said that. Why would a woman be asking another woman what a woman is? I found that kind of interesting.
Oh man.
Because she was using her logic.
You know what? Marsha Blackburn was a fox back in her day. That's my response. Would
you go
seeing
today?
her when she was young, I would have had no doubt what a woman is.
Yeah, even Sonia Sotomayor had to put her in her place with the last 8-1 ruling, with Ketanji Brown the only one.
You know,
dissenting.
all I have to say is I've rendered my opinion that you think that Ketanji Brown Jackson isn't good. I don't know what to tell you other than
America's Fusion.
you're entitled to your opinion. Y'all look at Mighty Bowl with Portia up here. You think she's going to save you?
But
oh gosh, no, I'm not here to say.
I will crush you just the same.
Hey,
I haven't been
man,
up here. I mean, gosh, it's been about a month, maybe. I mean, I don't even know. I haven't been like on anybody's panel in quite some time. I'm not saving anyone. I'm not. I just.
By the way, do you have
saw
pictures?
the whole Baba. Yes, I have tons of pictures and videos from the trip. I've been gone for so long. I was worried that I would never come back home, but thank God. Oh, Stanley, I made it back home. What is it? It's today, Thursday. I made it back home the other day, so I'm finally back home. Thank God.
You know what? Guess what? I didn't even realize he'd gone. My brother and his son are in Japan, so these black people are just going international.
Wow.
Yeah. You know, I'm locked and loaded. I'm not going anywhere else for a while, so I'm at home, and I'm glad to be. Thank goodness.
Well, I've taken one 18-hour flight from Warwick, Rhode Island to Bahrain. That was the end of any long distance flight I'm ever going to take. I'll take a ship, like a cruise, but I'm not doing long distance flights. I hate them.
Stanley, I'd walk. I'd walk. Okay, you understand? Like I'd walk at this point
on the plane.
No, I'd walk it, and then from walking, I'd swim. This is where we are.
Yeah,
I just can't. This time is just too much, too long.
Portia, did you ever get rid of that immigrant that was stealing your packages off the port?
You know what, 12 man. What's funny about that is that at the top of my street, it's another black family, and while I was out, one of my packages was delivered to their house, and so upon seeing my return home, she brings the package and she's telling me about it and whatnot. So we get into this conversation and she's telling me, because she was pregnant at the time, and she was ordering different things, off Amazon, offline for her new baby, and paid for all of the fixings and whatnot. And so I get home, she brings me my package that was delivered to her home while I was out of town. And so she tells me about the bibs, the pacifiers, just like the onesies, the diapers, all different kinds of stuff. And she's like, I don't know where it's at. And she was like, but it said it was delivered, somewhere down this way. And I was like, well, it wasn't delivered to me. And so then she shows me, the actual address. And I was like, there's no way. I was telling her, I was like, that's the same address that took all the Nigerian lady that took all my stuff. But she was pregnant at the time. And I had to sit here in my office and look at her wearing all of my stuff. And so the Nigerian lady, she stole her stuff too.
She ain't pregnant no more. She's not pregnant no more, right?
Well, both of them have had their babies by now, but
so they can shoot. They're available to shoot the fade.
Listen, I was like, because during that time I was so upset because I would have never went to whatever that website. I can't think of the name of it, but I only went to it one time, and I would have never went to it if I wasn't instructed to do so by someone else. And I did, and she stole all my stuff, but she didn't just steal my stuff. She stole another neighbor's stuff. And I know it couldn't have just been us two. It was just like a brand new living development. Like all of the houses were freshly built, but she was just stealing stuff. But right now they're moving out. So what can you do? Nothing. So 12th man in closing. No, I never got my stuff back, but they're moving out now. I hope they're getting deported. That would make me happier. Yeah.
Yeah, why don't you just call ICE? There's a number you can call, and they'll come pick them up and get them out of there.
Yeah, but they're Nigerians, and they were able to be in the neighborhood that I live in, and in order to be where I live at, there's no way that you're illegal. So, yeah, wherever she's going, good riddance. Yeah.
You don't have to get them out of there permanently. You just get them to come get them. Then you run through the house and get your shit back.
Well, they've already had their U-Hauls and all that good stuff, and so I'm pretty sure before afternoon tomorrow they'll be all the way up out of here. So,
Stanley, I'm at the library. I'm about to get a book. Don't tell nobody.
Oh, I won't.
So for my other
do they look at you? Do they look at you funny when you're in the children's section?
They want us to light them up. You talking about like how John was whenever he was in the children's section family?
Yeah. Oh, is that? I thought he was actually at the library. My bad.
Deacon Dave, are you actually at the library?
Yes.
Good on you. Good on you.
He's conducting the drag queen story hour this evening.
No, they got PlayStation games here. That's why I'm here.
Okay, that makes sense.
Okay,
I got you.
So I'll play this video, and then Stanley, I'll just be in the back, and I'll let you be.
You know what? I have no set agenda, so whatever you want to do.
So I hadn't seen it. Not this particular clip, but I did hear about it. So let's see. And it is Fox. Sorry, Stanley.
No, I show Fox all the time.
Our politics going forward will be the effort by the Trump administration to try to curb the excesses in the federal government, and including cutting spending, cutting bureaucracy. Supreme Court gave him a huge win, President Trump, a huge win yesterday, striking down a lower court judge's injunction, freezing the administration's ability to make cuts to the federal government. There was a lone dissent Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson dissenting, saying, for some reason, this court sees fit to step in now and release the president's wrecking ball at the outset of this litigation. In my view, this decision is not only truly unfortunate, but also hubristic and senseless. Lower court judges have their fingers on the pulse of what is happening on the ground and indisputably best positioned to determine the relevant facts. I see no basis to conclude that the district court erred, let alone clearly so, in finding that the president is attempting to fundamentally restructure the federal government, which, of course, the president has the authority to do as the top of the executive branch. Talk about hubristic.
You spoke with Jonathan Turley in the 6 o'clock hour this morning, always with a great reaction. In particular, this was his reaction to Jackson's dissent and how this ruling is a message to the lower courts. Listen.
Sotomayor noted in her concurrences that this order simply was having agencies plan for downsizing. And she said, well, we can hardly stop that. Well, yeah, Jackson believes you can. And this is part of a signature of what's becoming a type of judicial abandon that Jackson has towards the power of these courts. The court could not be more clear. This is another shot across the bow to lower courts that they've got to knock this off. They've got to stop with these injunctions. This is 6 months of delay. It could have been much longer. And the court is signaling, we're going to be on you very quickly if you continue to do these types of orders.
Across the bow, says Turley.
Yeah, and to Charlie's point, I mean, really, it is, whatever you call it, judicial activism, whatnot, the American people see stuff like this, and they see a effort, as we have heard, of these nationwide injunctions at an unprecedented level, literally telling a president who can't, that he can't exercise the powers given to him in the Constitution.
It reminds me of my favorite recent Babylon Bee headline saying that President Trump resigned the presidency to become a lower federal court judge so that he would have more power.
There you go. The always great Babylon Bee.
That's not how it works.
I'm Steve Doocy.
Well, the problem with that analysis, and you know what the response was as far as the birthright citizenship injunction? ACLU got together and did a class action suit. Okay, you can do a de facto nationwide injunction. The court, and Amy Coney Barrett specifically, because she authored the decision, there are ways to do it. The district courts do not have to actually do nationwide injunctions. You just have to put in a little bit more work to do class action type suits. The other point that Justice Jackson is spot on about, the president is not allowed to break the law. Okay. Bottom line is that no one is above the law. And if a lower court, a district court, decides that the president is doing something illegal, saying he can't do it might wind up a de facto nationwide injunction. So I don't get their glee. It's easy enough to do a de facto injunction. The other point I want to point out is that Justice Jackson and I think Justice Sotomayor are the only two people on this court that have been the district court type judge. They were actually trial judges. So a lot of what these other justices are talking about is theoretical. Ketanji Brown Jackson has more experience in this type of stuff than any of the other justices do. So pick on her all you want. I stand by my point that she is probably the smartest justice there, definitely the best questioner. She has more lower court experience. Let Fox News gloat. Jonathan Turley's a fucking clown. Okay, he is. I guarantee you, he whines in his, when he gets out there and he wants to teach his law class at George Washington, I bet he just whines. I have no respect for Jonathan Turley. So that's all I have to say in a nutshell.
What do you think, Portia? Is Katanji right or Sotomayor right in this case?
We haven't gotten to the Sotomayor part, have we?
No. Uh-oh. Oops. Sorry. I feel like, over the last two dissents from Katanji within the last month or so, or month and a half or so, they've been what they've been. But yeah, I just think it's interesting just to hear. But for the most recent one, the one that I played, like Sotomayor, she was coming because, like, I don't know, like the last dissent, Amy Coney Barrett, they were talking about like her response to Katanji, but I felt like Sotomayor's was like far worse.
It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, because they're Supreme Court justices, so it's just like,
Well, I mean, I think Ketanji Brown Jackson's point in that that dissent on the nationwide injunction, she's absolutely right. Look, Ketanji Brown Jackson asked a specific question, which is the president above the law or is he subject to the law? Okay, she didn't have to go all the way back to England to look at what some magistrate court in the 1600s did. You don't need to do all that fancy footwork. Literally, what the majority did is they basically got all rhetorical about their position. Ketanji Brown Jackson just asks a simple question. And you know what? She was outvoted, but I think her dissent is actually going to wind up influencing courts going forward. The basic question, does the president have to follow the law? And you know what? The Constitution is clear about birthright citizenship and other things. You do not subvert the Constitution with an executive order. And if the president breaks the law, federal law covers the entire country. If you say, hey, Mr. President, you can't violate this federal statute, that is a de facto nationwide injunction. If he can't break the law anywhere in the country, it's a nationwide injunction. And I think
was overruled 8-1.
Okay,
Stanley,
hey, dumbass. I didn't say anything about being overruled. The question is, can the president break the law? The majority on the court says yes. The majority of the court basically says
the Supreme Court agreed.
Okay, 12th man. Why are you even interrupting me? 12th man, drone on drunkenly all you want. The bottom line is that is the president above the law or not? Who gives a fuck what happened in 16s whatever in England? It is irrelevant to the point.
The case they argued was whether the president has the authority to fire public or federal employees.
Number one, that's actually not the case I was talking about. I was talking about the birthright citizenship / injunction case.
Okay.
I don't really.
Employees. Yes, he can.
Nah, actually, he probably can't. But you know what? He is head of it.
Just said he could.
Okay, I don't give a fuck what the Supreme Court says. I think they're wrong.
Well, too bad.
Okay, just because the Supreme Court says something, I still get to think about it. You, on the other hand, just want to blindly go the Supreme Court said.
Well, I'm sorry you feel that way, Stanley.
Dude, don't be sorry. Don't be sorry. Why do you need to be sorry?
The president is the commander.
Okay, motherfucker, listen to my question. Why do you need to be sorry for me?
Because you're being ignorant, bro.
Dude, I would have to work hard to be as ignorant as you. On my worst day, I will never get to that point.
The Supreme Court disagrees with you, Stanley.
Hey, you know what? The Supreme Court has been overturned before.
Yeah, like Roe versus Wade.
No,
Yeah.
like you know what? How about like what's the case? Dred Scott. The Supreme Court has been wrong before.
Well, the Supreme Court can have changes of opinion. There's no doubt about that.
That's my point. They have been overturned before.
Well, I don't think these Supreme Court justices will be overturned anytime soon, my friend.
Well,
you got a long way to go. And then if, like you were saying, Sotomayor has to drop out over health conditions, then guess what? Trump gets to nominate another Supreme Court justice. So you got a long way to go on that track, buddy.
All I have to say is enjoy your ignorance while it lasts.
Well,
I was hoping Lolo would they would fire I was hoping they would fire up another show, but apparently that's not going to happen.
Get some water, homie. Damn.
Yeah, I need some of Solid Snake's water.
You need some beer, maybe.
Too late for that. Plus, I got to get up fairly early in the morning.
Where'd Portia go? Did we scare her off?
She probably didn't want to be a party to what to what I said to you.
Well, I don't know. All y'all are great people. So, great Americans. Even Deacon Dave sitting over there silent.
Oh, Deacon Dave's in the library. They're probably already arrested him.
Yeah, I got thrown out for recording because I was recording.
You're recording this?
Hell no.
It's okay. Okay, you have my consent.
Yeah. Didn't go so well. I didn't find the book I was looking for.
How do I sound now, everybody?
You sound great.
Yeah, man, I had so much RAM clogging up my phone. It was about 4 gigabytes worth of RAM.
Yeah, that'll slow you down. It's like constipated phone.
That's crazy. Then Call of Duty had a new update, so I had to download that. So,
let's see what we got here.
Family?
What's up, Blue Jay?
Why do you like Ketanji Brown Jackson so much?
Because I think she's smart.
Oh, you think just because she black, she holding a political position? I mean, why are you fanboying for this?
If I thought, wait, hold it. If I thought that, why do I think you're not smart? So black can't be my only yardstick.
It's not that. It's not
You're
that.
black.
I think she's a DEI higher, and I don't believe that you believe that she ain't.
You are black. She is black. I think she's smart. I don't think you are.
Well, Stanley, he go to think. You might be smart, but you dumb too. So thank you.
Well, I have sense enough not to be pissing off black women, though.
Oh, see, yeah. You think that's why Portia left? I think that's why Portia left. I think she was like, oh.
All right, what's up, Blue Jay? Let's see, what do we have?
Blue Jay in the house. Yeah, Blue Jay go. I'm gonna stop here, man. I'm gonna stop. I'm just playing now. Golly. Everybody need to have a sense of humor. Jesus Christ.
You caused a ruckus last night.
This is the CEO of Essence Magazine. A very interesting look she has here. And I'm hoping.
Why you playing like that, boy?
What?
I just sat here and watched. No, I'm looking at these little kids crossing the street on their bicycle, and the big truck was coming through, and never mind. I almost had my blood pressure rise high as hell.
So, all right. So I want to. This is Lady Boulay, and hopefully Be Brave is listening.
And Wenger is under fire for all of the criticism that they have received for the Essence Festival last week. Again, I didn't go, but let me be clear. I am a longtime subscriber of Essence Magazine. I patronize their sponsors because they were trendsetters, new trends in makeup, in hairstyles, in fashion, and also speaking on issues concerning the Black American community and the Black American family, as well as Black women. So for a long time, Essence Magazine was a staple in my home until recently, because they've been on this trajectory of inserting all of this African stuff into the magazine for some time. Then I went digital, trying to support the magazine digitally. To me, their website is not user friendly. If you click on something, you got to wait, I don't know, 5, 10, 15 minutes for it to come up. So I kind of abandoned them when they abandoned us, because again, they've been on this trajectory for a long time. But now the CEO is under fire because Black Americans as a collective did not accept what the Essence Festival was this year. And even Black Americans who didn't go to the festival were invested in how it turned out. And they had every right to be, because that is a Black American cultural event. So even if Black
No, it's not.
Americans
It's a
didn't go to
nigga
the
event
event,
now.
they still have a right to express concern about an event that was created as a Black American cultural event. So all of our voices matter in this instance. And the way these Black immigrants behave, they act like Black Americans don't have a right to an opinion. Now, they took a model that Black Americans created and basically tried to inject an African theme or an African and Caribbean theme, and they don't want Black Americans to say anything because they are making it better. Better for whom? And if you are an African and the owner is an African, why don't you begin making it better in your homeland with something you created, as opposed to coming in and ruining something that Black Americans made? But anyway, she was speaking for Essence Women in Sports or something like that.
Did you say pause?
Stanley, are you serious?
I'm not the one doing the video, so I'm not sure why you're even asking that.
I mean, but why you don't want to allow nobody to have a commentary on this? Because listen to the egregious thing she just said.
What did she just say that was egregious?
Something we created. We did not create Essence.
Well, then
the Jews did. Financial backing from the white man created that. Okay,
do you know
nobody want to go to a Black event. Have you heard anything in Black entertainment?
You know you are literally batting 1,000 in the intellect department today. In the past 24 hours, you have said more stupid things than I can recall any Black man saying in 24 hours in quite some time.
Well, Stanley, he got to think about it. We used to have Essence, and it used to matter. It don't matter no more. Ain't no good role black model. Ain't no good Black role models anymore. Sorry, Stanley. Everybody.
Let me ask you a question. If you decide to buy a house and you get a mortgage from a bank, I guess you could technically say that it's the bank's house and not yours, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you start a business and you get a loan from the bank, is it your business or is it the bank's business?
Do you understand why the Africans had to take over?
Answer the question, please. If you
Stanley, you know that
if
answer.
you start a business and you get a bank loan to start the business, is it your business or the bank's business?
It's my business. I only
Okay,
got to
then
pay the
Drew,
loan.
think
Long
of
as I
Essence as a business. A magazine is a business. If you get a loan to start that business, it's whoever owns Essence or starts Essence up. It's not the Jews. It is that person's business. Thank you for answering the question.
okay, but Stanley, here go my
No,
point.
no.
It
Do
used to
not.
represent an image.
You know what, dude? Universal Jones needs to work with you. Okay, black people's problem, at least the ones that I run across in this space, just cannot answer a question and be done with it. Okay, you answered the question, and I'm ready to move on. It was Essence Magazine is a business. You just said if you get a bank loan to start a business, it is not the bank's business. Just let's move on.
It's mine.
And she
There
made
are a
this speech,
multitude of
which I
ways
thought
to
was
get
pretty
out of the
pivotal.
loan, Stanley.
You know what? There are multiple ways to be wrong, and you have explored almost all of them in the
Oh
past
my
24
God,
hours.
Stanley. As long as I keep that business in my name, that's my business.
Thank you, Solid Snake.
All this BS.
What up, tough guy? You don't show up. That's what I'm talking about.
Versus
Now we need
US
Ryan
black.
up here with that official version zombie narrative. We need Ryan up here now. I don't know where he
Let's
is.
go ahead and watch the video, shall we?
Versus Caribbean black. Versus Canadian black. Versus Antarctica black. I don't have facts to prove that. We everywhere. Arctic black. If you allow that narrative to exist within you, you're participating in dismantling who we're supposed to be in this world, y'all. Rich and I are no less dedicated to the black community in the US than we are to the black community in Africa and in the Caribbean and in Europe. And the fact that our descent is African and your descent might be different does not mean that we can't represent all. And we're not fighting for all. And we keep letting this narrative exist in the fucking world. I told y'all this is me. If you were calling me, this is how it would come out, y'all. And I'm gonna tell you why I'm triggered on that in a second. Anybody can believe what they want to believe. What I need the world part of this to do is to proactively dismantle the part of that conversation that is about if you ain't in a black, I certify you don't deserve to help make black better.
This is where the black immigrants lose me. She's Kenyan. She came from Kenya. I don't know where she was born, but her ancestry is in Kenya. So if she wants to make the world better, why doesn't she begin in Kenya? Why would she want to come to America, a first world country where you have black Americans who had to fight their way out of slavery, Jim Crow, and every other kind of malady to get to a place where we feel comfortable about our own culture and our own history? But she wants to make us better. She wants to make black better. But why not begin in your homeland? This man is the owner of Essence, and he's either Liberian or Nigerian. Both of those are places that need help badly. So why don't they start over there? And before they start screaming, Black Americans are xenophobic. Susan Taylor was the editor-in-chief for a very long time. She was the editor-in-chief when the Essence Festival got off the ground. She ran that ship for a very long time, and she ran it wonderfully. But she ran it with the Black American culture and history in mind. She was born to Caribbean parents, but she was brought up in New York. She understood Black Americans. She respected and honored the Black Americans' tradition, culture, customs, and history. And that's what she enfolded into the Essence Festival. So Black Americans are not xenophobic. When you come here and honor and respect us, we honor and respect you. Susan Taylor is still honored and respected as the former editor in chief of Essence Magazine. But she didn't try to make it into something about the Caribbean or Africa. She made it about the people that she was around, the people that she was brought up with, the people that she lived among. She
Anti-African.
respected
That's what
the
I'm saying.
African American tradition, and she was rewarded for it. These people are trying to merge the Black American culture into other cultures. And the only reason they're trying to do that is because their cultures don't have the influence that ours has. But they're
What?
already trying to take credit for our accomplishments.
What?
Anything that we come up with, they try to wedge their way into it. It could just be a recipe. It could be a hairstyle. It could be anything. If we come up with it and say something about it, they jump in and try to make it theirs and say, oh, you got that from us. We haven't been around you in 400 years, but we got everything from you. It doesn't even make sense. You can't even make it make
Oh,
sense.
God.
These are people in search of an identity, and ours seems to be the one that they want. So this woman says she's triggered by the pushback, really, that she's getting. I don't know when she gave this speech, but she's triggered by the division that they're calling it division, but we've never really been a part of them. They came over here and jumped on our square and decided
We
how
got to
we are
discuss.
supposed to
We
behave.
got to discuss this.
And when we're saying, no, 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 that's not how.
What are you
It's
gonna
fun.
say, Sauce?
Okay, I'm listening to her, Stanley, and you don't see the soft anti-blackness in her voice.
Nope.
No, Stanley, wait a minute. You telling me for the past during the shit since the civil rights movement, we've been walking around with kufis and dashikis, and that shit wasn't even representative of the culture for damn near 30, 40 years. Only recently have we earned this disdain for every African that been deported over here,
Solid
imported.
snake.
Okay, but now
I
you want to say
literally
now
solid
that
snake.
because
Dude, welcome to social cues. I guess I have to impose one. Who is we?
Well, this shit going in and out too. So.
Who is this we you're talking about wearing kufis and dashikis? Who are you talking about?
I'm talking about us. We
dude,
so-called Black African Americans.
Stop this us bullshit. You're pretending. I don't know where you get the shit from. Why are you even bothering to ask me? Us, you are not me. I am not you. You and I do not make an us.
I want to try to get the point across.
I don't.
But why?
Dude,
Why disgrace the African nation when?
Okay, dude, I don't have the patience for your style of conversation. You need to take a pause when you ask a question. You need to pause and let somebody ask or answer it. Okay, you're not going to last long on this panel if you keep up this bullshit. Okay, I am not T. I am not Mo Love. I will toss your ass off if you keep annoying me. Because I want to.
Because you ain't got a retort.
I literally do not have the patience.
You playing this woman.
I literally do not have the patience for your style of drunken verbal kung fu. Get to the point. When you ask a question, pause and wait for the answer, or skedaddle.
Are you seriously going to do that reverse?
I am seriously out of patience.
Well, fine. Speak
I
your
know
piece.
it's fine, Solid Snake.
But I want to know why you don't have a retort to this. You should have the largest retort of anybody on the panel.
I don't have a receipt. Once again, you ask a question and you don't pause for me to answer it. The reason I don't have a response is because it's gibberish. You are spouting drunken gibberish. Why should I give it an answer?
Okay. Go ahead, Stanley.
Thank you.
We do things. Oh, you're xenophobic. You're divisive because you don't take their word for everything and don't accept things that they're trying to push down your throat. And anyway, aren't these the same people that said their parents told them to stay away from Black Americans? Aren't these the same people that have been bragging about what great cultures they have? Can somebody help me understand why is it they ended up on our square? All of these people with all these degrees and all this great culture that their parents told to stay away from Black Americans because they bought into all of the stereotypes that white people have said about us? Why are these people a nuisance to Black Americans at this point? Why have they become such a nuisance to us? Can somebody explain that to me? She wants to make Black better, but she wants to begin with Black Americans. That is what I think a lot of Black Americans take issue with. Why are you beginning here? And why do you want to preach and lecture Black Americans? We don't need it. We had to figure it out all this time, and we will continue to figure it out without any help from you, Ms. Wenger. Am I right about it? Well, I'll end with this message from a concerned member of the Black American community.
Okay, well, that African businessman needs to change the name to African Fest. Because let's be real, y'all wouldn't have no turnout if it was called African Fest. Black people wanted to see Black Americans at Essence. We didn't want to see y'all. But let's be real, you have no success over here if you're not piggybacking off of us.
I want to read that horrible tattoo across your
no
chest.
No support over here if we're not supporting you. And your time is up now. Going back home.
Is that her kids
That's how she
yelling?
feels about it.
Yeah, I'm sure. To be honest, I really don't agree with Lady Blaze's point. I just don't see that she has a point at all. It's a business.
Why you don't comment on her like you commented on me last
I
night?
literally just said I don't agree with her point.
Yeah, but you ain't saying nothing, though. You always saying something when I say something.
Well, you know what? I can hit pause and not hear her voice.
Yeah, but you ain't commenting. I want to hear your opinion,
I literally
man.
commented saying I don't agree with her points.
Everybody hit that like, share, and subscribe button, man.
Oh,
hey, and be active in the chat because I am the chat voice. Yeah, I'm in that thing tonight. Yeah,
I see another crash and burn coming up.
Stanley, you had an energy drink today. Did you sleep? Because you've been up since I've been at work. I been at work, came home, and you still going. Man, you got some good military training, dog. I applaud you, Stanley. Shout out to our host, Stanley. Shout out to our host, man. Shout out to our host. Please hit that brother with a cash app, y'all.
Yeah. Hit me with a cash app. As a matter of fact, we might just do a CT. Who's willing to pay for him to be tossed off the panel?
Are you serious, Stanley? You so evil.
I'm dead serious.
I know you will.
We will kill two birds. We will kill two birds with one stone. I get a cash app and you go.
Oh, but wait. What if you get a cash app and I stay?
Yeah. Let's see. What else do we have? Does anybody else have comments on that? On the Essence
I really
Fest?
wanted Deacon Dave and Tough Guy to comment on that because I really. And who else on the panel? Somebody else on the panel. I can't see. 12 man. Is it?
It's Blue Jay, but I don't have any comments on it. I don't.
Oh, that's Blue Jay. Okay.
Other than her head looked like one of my fishing lures. That was about it.
Yeah, it does look like a
Deacon Dave. Deacon Dave, I got a question. D. Don't you find that very hypocritical how we for the whole while we talking about we African and we was enslaved and yada yada yada, but now all of a sudden when they do show up on our shores and they do attend our events, all of a sudden now Black women, in my opinion, have a problem with not being paid attention to. And that's exactly what this is. This is an example of a minstrel show where black women just cannot stand not being paid attention to. And when they're not the center of attention, they got a problem. They have an attitude.
That is true, Snake, but you know, the guys fall in line with that, so as long as you
Why do see this is exactly what happened to black people. We let the women lead. No nation, no country, no society has ever survived when the women led.
well, if you ask the people who look like you, they don't believe that this is their country.
Exactly, but then when the people from their country come over here, you want to get mad at the Africans because they say, "Ooh, Lord, how y'all just gonna come over here and try to outshine us?" You know, that's really what it is, and it's fucking ridiculous.
You're speaking
really
on something
fucking
that really is
ridiculous.
a thing, but I don't have much to say about it, honestly.
I just hate it. I just hate the fact that black people got to have a problem with everything. I'm not pro immigration like that. But what I am is pro legal immigration. I'm pro people that need to be here that continually provide for the community while they in their state. And if they bring a positive impact to my community, I'm well and all for it. But for this woman to sit up and act like the black community of the day when you got black kids shooting across the street at each other at a
Okay,
dang on
let
party,
me go ahead.
it's
Let me go ahead.
ridiculous. You don't
Let me
have a
go ahead.
positive image.
Let
And we
me go
need to
ahead
be
and
reinforced. Africa came in and helped us reinforce.
fuck all that, dude. Just shut the fuck up. Damn it, dude. You know what? I don't. Maybe you and Solid Snake Dave have this weird telepathy or this weird bond where his gibberish kind of translates to something you understand. Literally, there is nothing that he has said in the past 5 minutes that is intelligible to me.
Well, I let people talk because I'm
Okay,
kind.
and I don't have that kind of patience. If you're gonna talk, don't waste my time.
So, Stanley, are you saying you don't think
I let people talk bullshit? I don't do that. Say
No,
something if you're
it's
gonna
not.
talk.
It's because I'm kind. That's all.
Oh, you know what? Fuck kindness.
But you let Lady Boulay talk all that bullshit and you ain't said nothing about it.
Well, let's face
And
it.
you served in this country. And you
That's a good point, though.
I like Lady Boulay better than you.
It's a lady.
Oh, pussy whipped ass nigga.
What were you gonna say, Blue Jay?
Oh, I was just gonna say is what you don't
I had to get it in.
so you don't agree that there's a tension between like Black Americans and Africans?
I agree that there is, but I think in this case, what does it matter? If Essence is owned by this African lady or the guy, don't go next year. They own the business. They get to run it the way they want to. If there's so much tension, they're more than likely it's going to be the same people owning it. Either they are going to acquiesce to what the Black Americans like Lady Boulay want, or they're going to run it the way they want to run it, and that's that. Okay.
Yeah, I just heard about the divide.
Now, someone told me, I didn't realize that Essence was still that big a cultural force. So it could be that I just don't know what's going on, and maybe I need to be reoriented. But I don't think the Essence Fest is that big a deal. If it was that big a deal, then someone who was Black American should have bought it.
Yeah, I don't know much about the American and all that. I actually just learned that there was even a tension between Black Americans and Africans. Like when I came on YouTube, I had no idea even. So I don't get involved in it. I think it's unfortunate, but
yeah. Well, why would you be expected to know about Black American stuff? We've only been here 400 years.
Well, I'm talking about how the African thing. Like I thought everybody got along.
You think we just been here 400 years, Stanley? Stop
Dude,
that cap,
you
man.
might want to stand your
Read
drunk
the
ass
Lucky,
down.
Eric the Red.
You
Read that book.
might want to stand your drunk ass down.
Yeah, that's saying I
Black
don't know
have
about Black
always been
Americans.
here.
I didn't know that African and Black Americans.
Yeah,
had
it's been
taste. That's what I'm saying.
within this is like been probably since the 60s. You know,
Oh, okay.
Caribbeans and Black Americans, Africans and Black Americans. The tension's been there.
Yeah, I was kind
No,
of
it's
surprised to
not.
hear that.
I think it's made up. It's made up bullshit. I don't hate Africans. I
Okay,
don't hate the fact that they
are
coming
we
over here
talking?
being part of our culture.
Are we talking about you specifically, Solid Snake? All right. Well, this next video just kind of wandered in.
I'm not going to be anti-Black African, okay?
This video, I have no idea what it's about, but it's about Hobson City, Alabama, an all-Black municipality that was founded, I think it said before the Civil War. So I don't even.
Topic. Why are you moving? Why are you moving on to the next topic? If we're not through with this.
Okay. What else is there left to say about this?
You don't have anything left to say about it because you obviously don't have an opinion. Because you've been smooth brain through liberalism. They don't sanded your brain down.
Talk about just random going back to what does liberalism have to do with this?
Seriously, Stanley.
Yes, seriously.
Free shit, and you mad that the Africans coming over here and they gonna get that free shit too.
Okay, let me tell you something.
That's what it sounds like.
You know what? Basically, you after all this time do not understand. Okay, dude. I don't give a fuck if the Africans come over here. I just outperform them. I don't feel threatened by Africans coming over here. If they are smart, I just need to come up to their level or be smarter. Why the fuck would I care? Dude, I am me. Okay, I am always and always have been. When I need to get smarter, when I need to learn something, when I need to be better, I hunker down and do it. I don't fucking sit on a YouTube panel whining about tethers. I fucking perform. I get better. I do what I need to do to excel. So you do not impress me yelling at the top of your lungs about nothing in particular.
I'm drunk. I'm a little tipsy.
Yeah, well, that's not my goddamn problem. That is not
Why you so
my problem.
God.
Dude, I'm telling you right now.
Because you on your period, Stanley.
It is not my problem, and I am not here for the tea.
You have a period, Stanley?
You know what?
Stanley, you're on your period,
If I have a period, you will find out off this panel what happens.
Get you
when
some
I
Brilliant
get
water in a douche bottle. That's what you do, and tighten that coochie back up.
I love T's tagline that says "not African."
You know what? You literally, Solid Snake, you literally don't know what it's like to actually deal with a black man.
You don't know what it's like to be the same.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck about any of that stuff.
To be the bad man.
That was a horrible comeback, Stan.
All I have to say is this is not T's panel. I'll toss your drunk ass off if you keep this
Come
up.
on, man.
T
Why
did
you
toss
gotta
him
be
off,
like
remember?
that?
She tossed him.
Yeah, she tossed me, man.
that she kept.
I'm still hurt. I'm still hurt, Blue Jay.
Yeah, well,
I'm still hurt.
I know.
Stay hurt and be quiet.
I
you
tried to
gonna
rally
hurt?
for you.
It ain't like I'm a nigga you gonna want to date in the future anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Why are
So
you still talking?
Why should it matter
Why
that I
are
said
you
that?
still talking? Can't you hear the music?
I tried to get her to let you come back though.
I know, man, but it was over with. I think I burned them too bad with that. I don't know why.
There was no reason to let that drunken motherfucker back up.
Oh, seriously, Stanley. Why you always,
Yes,
hey, why you
seriously.
didn't even come on the panel? You could have
Dude,
came
I
in and
do not,
basically your way or whatever.
I was not going to come up there and participate in that
You
fucking bullshit
scared.
you were peddling.
Because you're a
I was
coward,
scared. You
Stanley.
know what? If I was scared, I was gonna be scared of what I was gonna say to you.
Well said it. I would have remembered too. It would have been on
Motherfucker,
the
you are
live
here
stream. I
right
could have
now.
replayed it.
You are
Now you
here.
want to do it. Now you want to
You
do
are
it.
here right now.
Yeah, I'm here with you right now, golly. Come on,
I
man.
got there after you got kicked
Dude.
off, so I wasn't saying you're defending your content. I was more saying if you're going to talk about someone, let them defend themselves. That was my point. I wasn't necessarily saying let you be, that was agreeing. I don't know. I wasn't there yet.
Hey, Stanley, Howard came back up for a minute to share with you that link about that, those ice raids we were watching a while ago.
Yeah, I think I got everything out of the original video. Now we know that it was an illegal grow operation. Apparently they must have had some undocumented or people that ICE wanted a hold of as well.
Yeah, and they were just using growing.
Yeah, they took away black jobs
as a cover up. That's all they were doing. It was an entire cover up and a whole bunch of people getting bucked out of there right now.
Gotcha.
Evidently.
Is this going to be all music? I guess I should have previewed that. Yep, I'm going to have to move on.
Probably free. It's probably YouTube music they playing, so it's probably good.
No,
anyway.
it's not.
Oh, it's not?
Nope. So, you know what we'll do? We'll go back and we'll select something else. I guess we might as well just watch what you put up here until I find something else, 12th man. Let's see. Massive illegal marijuana grow operation uncovered in Northern California. Okay, well, why is... 2 men and a woman are in custody facing state charges following the discovery Monday of massive illegal marijuana cultivation operation in this small community south of Stockton. Investigators, Metro County Narcotics. Why? Okay, so 3 individuals arrested on state charges for their suspected involvement in the grow operation. Duang Chai, Pradas Bang. Oh, can't even pronounce
Are these
that.
Asians?
Yeah, looks like they are. Have been booked in to do investigation. And okay, I don't understand why this is an ICE issue.
Unless they're illegal people or no?
Says following the discovery, the task sought assistance from U.S. immigration. Okay, well maybe there are some illegals involved.
It is, Stanley. It is. Jesus Christ, man.
Well, I have a friend that worked at one of those
Let me
marijuana,
ask you something, 12th
and there were a
man.
lot of illegal people.
Who in your life told you that this way that you carry yourselves on these panels is something that's desirable?
Stanley, they see much worse in real life.
Okay, well, you know what? I have not, and I think what it is there are too many Deacon
Because you stay in the
Daves.
house.
I think there are too many Deacon Daves.
Oh my God. Are you shitting on my dog? Dog, don't do that.
Too many Deacon Daves who have just let you.
No, Stanley. How you gonna shit on my
motherfucker? This motherfucker does not understand, dude. Too many Deacon Daves have kind of just let you ramble on without being checked. I think that's your problem.
Because I'm built to check your ass.
Uh-huh.
Oh, anti-black ass.
I'm anti-stupid black ass.
I don't give a damn. You
If
still a
you're
nigga.
black, if you're black and stupid, I'm gonna check
Still
you.
a nigga.
Oh boy,
I don't mean to use that word on your I'm gonna be honest. I don't like using that term on your page. But since you already labeled me anti-black, which I am, because I feel like most of you higher IQ blacks don't give a damn about the real blacks. You know,
So
you college-educated blacks don't give a damn about those of us who rather be a part of the labor movement. You know what? We actually got to do the work of the community. You know what I'm saying?
You're not doing the work of the dude. You're not doing the work of the community. You're doing the work of your community. That's the problem with these universal Jones type of blacks. Y'all don't have a facility for language, and you can't figure out that you're doing the work of your community, not the community.
But you're doing the work of the white community.
You know what? I'm doing the work of the Stanley community.
And you vote for the community of white community.
I don't give a fuck about the whites any more than I give a fuck about your dumbass.
No, you don't give a fuck about
the
nobody.
Whites, in my opinion, you and the whites are one and the same.
Exactly. Because I'm American.
Yeah,
we call it American. Take your ass back to Africa.
You are white.
Instead of sitting up there acting like y'all got it like over here like that, but you couldn't even fill out an Essence festival because you don't have any positive blacks to premiere. You don't have any positive blacks to premiere. So why you mad at the African community when they come over here and put us in a good light? You don't want to say, hey, thanks for salvating the black community because, God damn it, we got little black kids shooting across the street at each other over some motherfucking bullshit ass beef.
What the fuck does that have
Where
to do
are you, Stanley?
What does this have to do with the Essence Fest? What does shooting across the street have to do with the Essence Fest? Can you connect those dots?
You don't have a damn good black squad in this country as an original black American.
Dude, you
don't.
Oh, God damn. Dealing with dumb motherfuckers.
You only 13% of the population, but goddamn, look how much of the percentage of the prison population you occupy. And you act like that's nothing.
See, what it is okay, these motherfuckers have programmed you. You an American man, y'all keep spouting the same statistics over and over and over as if that is some like skeleton key unlocking the logic of the universe. Okay, you sound dumb. If you're going to be anti-black, at least be interesting. At least John Galt is interesting. Your ass is just drunkenly spouting statistics over and over and over, probably because you know it entertains massa. My patience is wearing thin, sir.
But you talk about slavery.
Dude, you just will not stay silent, will you? How about talk when you have something to say?
You use that white man methodology on me, ain't you?
Dude,
that
you know what?
shit, them white men trained you in that military.
See, what you're doing is trying to be all John Galt talking about the white man.
Oh, Lord. I'm not being John Galt.
You are literally a one-man minstrel show.
Well,
okay, dumbasses like you feel that if you can insult black women and insult black people in general, people who don't agree with you, the massa is just gonna fucking pat you on the head and tell you, Solid Snake, how great and right you are. Okay, dude, you are a 50-year-old minstrel. Stop the cap. Quoting the same stats over and over and over is not an argument. And we were talking about the Essence Fest, not black crime. Connect the goddamn dots or shut the fuck up.
But Stanley, let's be honest.
Dude, you just cannot control yourself. Motherfucker, you are a 50-year-old man who cannot control himself. What the fuck is
I
up with
want to
that?
know.
What
I want to know
the
why.
fuck up? What the fuck is up with this? That you get on here and want to criticize people while acting like the problem you criticize, it seems to be evident to everyone but you, Solid Snake. It's annoying.
Dude, you don't even live in a black
Motherfucker, you
community.
just cannot
You
control
don't even
yourself.
live in a black
What
community.
the
Stop.
fuck is up with you? Why can't
You
you
live in a black
control
voting
yourself?
district with a
Why
white representative.
can
Stop it.
you not control yourself?
And you can't?
Motherfucker, I can't control you. You're the 50-year-old. Control yourself.
Well, damn, because I'm
All
hurting
I
your
can
feelings,
do
Stanley.
is
I
toss
gotta
your
be
ass.
careful because I don't want
All
to
I
hurt
can
your
do
feelings.
is toss your ass off a panel. You still have to deal with yourself. I'm not your goddamn daddy. Fucking control yourself.
Why? Because I hurt your feelings, Stanley. Stop it.
Oh, goddamn, dude. You are supposedly an adult black male, is why.
Whoever said I was an adult, Stanley?
Dude,
Stanley.
you are a fucking child. I'm trying to give you chance after chance. Mo and T did it chance after chance last night, and finally you just got too fucking belligerent
I
and they
want
had
to know what
to
type
toss
of
your
liquor
ass.
he on.
Why do you have to do this 2 nights in a row?
I want to know what he drinking.
You know what? I don't give a fuck what he's drinking.
No,
He can
so I won't
drink
drink it.
he can drink himself to death for all I care. Just shut the fuck up and speak only when you have something to say. We don't think you sound smart. Just randomly spouting shit.
I'm just tired of you no shame black.
Motherfucker, I don't care what you're tired of.
You ain't got no shame, Stan.
Why should I give a fuck?
Acknowledge the shame.
Okay, dude.
Nah.
Why should I care what you're tired of?
Acknowledge the shame, Stanley.
Dude, don't encourage this dumb son of a bitch.
Acknowledge the shame. Well, I'm quiet now. Why you mad?
Oh, she was cute, Stanley. Did you see that?
Your ass is gonna be joining Solid Snake, aren't you?
Nah, I was looking at the video.
Oh, God. Acknowledge the shame, Stanley. Acknowledge it. We don't have a positive energy as a black. We don't have a positive image as a black
Jesus
community in America.
Christ. Really?
Yo, is this
You
music
want to
tough,
be?
guy?
You want to be that guy, but you're not that.
Is this music tough, guy, Stanley?
Is what?
Tough guy singing this song?
It's yeah.
No, I just noticed this. Fucking priceless.
I don't hear nothing.
Muted.
Yeah, I can't hear it either.
Where's Snake? You put Snake down for the evening?
No, he's still here. Y'all can't hear the video? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Why can't no one can hear the video?
Nah, it's muted, bro.
No, I can't hear it either.
Okay,
I can see you're
you know
talking.
what? I have no idea why. Let me try this again because I can hear it.
You was enjoying it.
Can you hear it now?
No.
Nope.
All right, hold on one sec.
Snake did something to it. She left it at the
Okay, hold on one
whoopty
sec.
wop.
Yeah, let me see. You know, it's
The whoopty wop.
okay. How about now?
Ward Suckick was born in Saudi Arabia to Palestine.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, I don't. You know, StreamYard is really weird.
She lived in the United States since she was 8 years old. She was arrested by immigration officials back in February.
Yeah, she can stay.
Yeah, she could stay.
Violence with her new husband when she was taken into custody.
No, he gotta go.
She gotta go.
Department of Homeland Security, who
Well, I'm
said
trying
in a
to
statement,
figure
in
out why
part,
they arrested
the
her in
arrest
the
of Ward
first place.
Suckick was
No.
not part of
Her
a
husband
targeted
gotta go.
operation by ICE. She chose to fly over international waters and outside the U.S. Customs Zone, and was then flagged by CBP trying to re-enter the continental U.S. Following her American husband and her filing the appropriate legal applications for her to remain in the country and become a legal permanent resident, she was released from ICE custody. Well, joining me now is Ward Suckick and her attorney, Eric Lee. Thank you both so much for joining us on this holiday weekend. Ward, I want to start
This
with
is
you.
a non-story.
Just tell
CNN
me
is
about your
bogus, bro.
experience being detained and how you're feeling this morning.
Thank you. First of all, I feel good this morning. I feel amazing being back home, and I'm super grateful to be here. The entire detention process was not great. I wouldn't wish this upon anybody. It was very hard.
Do you hear any
very
accent in that voice?
traumatizing,
Because I don't.
and very, very difficult.
She's been
if
here
not
since
to
she
figure
was
out.
8.
Well, and Ward, can you describe a little bit more? I mean, just what it was like inside while you were detained for so many weeks?
Yes, absolutely. There was not a lot of things for us to do. It
Of
was
course,
a
it's
very
prison,
lazy. Each day was lazier than the next day. You will like run out of energy. I didn't have much energy to do pretty much anything. All I had was my husband sending me books, and I would be reading. Once these books were done, send them back, get more books. We did have some Zumba and some dancing classes provided to us. It wasn't a daily thing, but it was pretty nice in the second facility that I was in. There wasn't a lot of people that spoke English in there. There was a lot of Latin women, so it was very hard for me to make a lot of friends. So often I just felt like I was a little isolated because I didn't really speak the language. So again, I was in an environment where I wasn't fully comfortable. And not only that, I was also very scared because it was very different to me. I didn't know why I was there specifically, even though I was asking, and I really wanted to speak to my deportation officer and all that, because I've been abiding by everything and I was complying, and I was just very confused on why I was there, especially when I report every year and they congratulate me on everything I've done or any new updates in my life. So it was just very confusing for me.
Eric, I want to bring you into the conversation. Your client's circumstance, very unique. I understand that Ward does not actually have citizenship anywhere. Is that correct? And how does that make this whole case more challenging?
Right. Ward is a Palestinian. The United States government does not recognize Palestine as a country. Her family, like the families of so many Palestinians, were kicked off of their land many decades ago and forced essentially into international diaspora. The government cannot deport her to any country. She has been, as she just indicated, complying with all of the supervisory demands that ICE has placed on her over the last years. I just want to say, since you started by reading the statement by the Department of Homeland Security, they also issued a statement yesterday to Newsweek saying that what Ward said about her conditions of detention, including regarding food, including regarding water, mistreatment by guards, the violation of her religious right, was false, DHS said. They called it a sob story. I guess what we would ask the American people is, who are they going to believe? Their lying eyes or the statements of the people who are responsible for carrying out what are really crimes against humanity here in the United States? On Monday, when Ward was brought almost out of the facility for her second deportation attempt, that was in violation of a federal court order saying that the ICE was prohibited from trying to remove her from the United States. This is a government which is actively undermining and violating the American Constitution and the Bill of Rights. And the case that Ward's case exemplifies the basic question that everybody should be thinking about on this 4th of July weekend, which is whether we live in a democracy or whether we live in a dictatorship.
Well, to your point, Eric, I mean, tell me, what is next in Ward's case? Is it pretty much over, or is there more coming now?
Well, there's going to be more coming. I mean, how that develops, not only for Ward, but for the tens of thousands of people who every night in this country go to sleep in the conditions that Ward was forced to endure for 5 years, simply for the crime, in most cases, of having been born in another country and trying to come here for a better life. I mean, this is America. There's a network of internment camps across the United States set up by Democratic and Republican administrations where families are detained, where parents are taken from their children. They just built something that they call Alligator Alcatraz, which is as horrific as it sounds. There's Marines in Florida helping ICE attack the rights of immigrants in that state. And they've just passed a bill in Congress, which is not beautiful, which is going to fund ICE to the tune of having more resources at its disposal than many militaries across the world. This is an extraordinarily dangerous situation. We have to really make the point that the situation Ward confronts shows that nobody's safe. They're talking about denaturalizing American citizens. They're trying to enforce what types of speech immigrants can engage in and what types of speech American citizens can listen to immigrants engage in. That is totally outside the American democratic tradition that was embodied in the Declaration of Independence that was signed almost 250 years ago.
Well, Ward, glad you're back home, and please stay in touch with us to keep us abreast of just how you're progressing in the weeks and months to come. Thank you both, Ward Sukic and Eric Lee, for joining us this morning. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
That's a random white woman from Iowa.
Now raising humanitarian concerns about.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
I said that's a random white woman from Iowa. She's not even remotely. But CNN makes up shit.
Yeah, okay.
The most trusted name in news.
I think CNN's fine. I think it's this particular viewer who's fucked up. You know what? Let's see what else is in here.
He looked like he's on that booger sugar.
Now you got roughed up reading at the drag queen story hour at the library.
Why you keep talking about drag queens? What's the deal?
You know what? Because you're still here.
You got nothing to do with your sick, twisted fantasies, Stanley. I really don't.
I got another joke, yo. Yo, Deacon,
What's up?
Would you ever marry a migrant or a liberal?
I heard this question before, but if you ask me, a migrant for sure.
Yeah, because at least a migrant knows what a woman is.
Good joke. Not like Stanley's pithy comments.
I'm still trying to figure out. I'm still trying to figure out the joke, the punchline.
That's the point.
Oh, okay.
Good morning, friends, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Maggie, and I love to make content about gardening. And on today's video, I'm going to be doing the June 2025
Oh, did
garden
you know
tour.
what? Silent
Look
Snake's
at
gone.
the
Okay, well
incredible
maybe he
amount
went to
of
sleep.
growth that is happening in the garden right now, and I'm so excited. So come along with me while I give you guys a tour of the garden, everything that's going on, all of the changes that I have made, because there have been quite a few changes since my last garden tour. So let's go ahead and get into today's video. The first
I'm
place I want to
actually
start with
surprised that
is just
Ava
these
and
beautiful flowers.
the
They're
other
kind of falling over
the other
and
carnies have not
not perfectly
fired up.
straight, but that's okay, because in the middle of the day, the bumblebees and the butterflies, especially the butterflies, are so happy every corner where we have flowers. So we're happy about that, that we're bringing in lots of pollinators into the garden. Moving on this way, let's start with this sweet
Shit, I got
potato
stung by a hornet
bed,
twice
because the sweet
yesterday.
Some
potatoes, as
what?
you will see in this video,
A
have
freaking
just
hornet apparently was inside my
taken
sweater,
off.
man, and I'm
You mean
like, yo,
just now?
no, this was yesterday, and I'm like, yo, I feel like a burn in my chest, like something got me or something, man, and I'm looking everywhere. I'm like, I don't see nothing, and all of a sudden I hear like a buzz inside the sweater, and the shit got me in my arm too, and I'm like, oh, you fucker, shit hurts, dude.
Ooh, this looks interesting. There's a YouTube channel called Angry Black Men's Book Club. Oh, we gotta watch this.
Entire black community could be destroyed, people mass murdered, folk eaten by alligators, drowning, starving, and it didn't galvanize a sustained effort. In fact, I remember that the Congressional Black Caucus was going to have a press conference and show their outrage, and they and then all of a sudden it stopped. Nancy Pelosi told Barbara Lee and all of them, shut your damn nigger pie holes, and they did.
Damn.
So you've got a neo-segregationist named Nancy Pelosi that controls the Democratic Party. She doesn't face any pressure because there are practically no blacks in San Francisco, and she's helped purge black folks out. So she doesn't face any consequences. She's aligned with the oligarchs. She's aligned with the Israelis. She's aligned
Dave,
with
do you
everyone.
know
And
these
she's the
guys?
biggest fundraiser for the Democratic Party. And what you need to know is that
Dave, do you know these guys? They sound like you. Oh, apparently the kids at the library have been busy.
seats. If you get the Democratic nomination, or if you're the incumbent, then you don't ever get moved. Like that haunted mansion door knocker face.
What is this?
Maxine.
House of Stumps? What is this?
She's a cross between a haunted door.
Well, this cast is called the what is it called? The channel is called Angry Black Men's Book Club. Have you ever heard of it?
No, I haven't came across them yet. This is new.
But they're bashing Nancy Pelosi, so I know it's something you'll like.
That's not necessarily what I'm into, but you know, they're still going to pledge their allegiance to black. So I mean, if you keep doing that, it's not really my thing.
Really? Damn. I'm trying to find something that
No, you don't understand. There is no middle ground. I'm like an army of one.
Okay. There are a lot of armies of one out there. 12th Man is an army of one too.
Long wolf.
No, he's not a wolf. He's just an army of one.
Stanley,
Let's see. Black families moved in, and white Chicago went to war. You just dropped that. Your buddy just dropped that a minute ago.
Who is that?
Your buddy.
Who's my? Oh, okay, St.
And
Patrick.
that sometimes was okay with whites. But once blacks flooded into an area and the whites had nowhere to retreat and their backs were against the wall, that's when they prepared for war. That's what we're going to examine in this commentary. It's going to be a wild ride, so go ahead and buckle up right now. Now, the 1945 book that we're studying from is titled Black Metropolis, written by sociologists St. Clair Drake and Horace Caton. Integrity. The native-born middle-class white population is the group that sets the standards by which various people are designated as desirable or undesirable. Setting standards is a human activity that is part of a concept known as a social construct. This is where society itself creates the laws, the rules, and the standards rather than them being created by nature. And humans all have the ability to make our own complex worlds within the natural world. And part of the creation of such complex worlds is the choosing of what we like and what we dislike, what we value and what we do not value, what's appropriate and what's inappropriate, etc. What white Americans did was position themselves to have the world that they socially constructed become the official one of the country. And that's how they could set the standard on who the desirable and undesirable people were. The attitudes of this middle-class group are probably decisive in restricting Negroes and other groups to special areas of the city. Not probably, it was. These attitudes become translated into economic terms. And though the kinds of people the white middle class desires as neighbors do not affect property values adversely, their dislike and fear of other groups is reflected by a decline in the sales value of residential property when such people begin to penetrate a neighborhood. We're about to find out who these whites selected as desirable and undesirable, so pay attention. In Midwest metropolis, such ethnic groups as the English, Germans, Scotch, Irish, and Scandinavians have little adverse effect on property values. So these were considered the more desirable people according to the standards set by the white middle class. And because of that, they didn't drop the property values in the neighborhood. Now watch this. Northern Italians are considered less desirable, followed by Bohemians and Czechs, Poles, Lithuanians, Greeks, and Russian Jews of the lower class. Southern Italians, along with Negroes and Mexicans, are at the bottom of the scale of middle-class white desirability. You already know who goes at the bottom, and that's implied in the name. Whites at the top, and Negroes, which means black, at the bottom, along with Los Mexicanos.
That's you, Latino.
What do you think about this comment from Brian Nichols?
I mean,
See,
they can if they're the majority, but they're about to lose it to the Latinos unless they get them out of here, you know?
I think that is the most obsequious thing I've heard in quite some time.
Oh, let me write that down.
Yeah. I used the word intentionally. Let me look it up for you.
Yeah, please.
I mean, but the whole word white privilege comes from like not even them being privileged. It's like, how can I explain? Like a place that had tippies, and all of a sudden a plane flies by. These people are like, oh, and they see a white man come off the plane. They'd be like, oh, how can this guy create or be in such a thing? And that's where the word.
Okay, dude, we're not. This is 2025. Let's pretend that we're talking presently.
Obsequious. So it's the opposite of recalcitrant, right?
Not exactly the opposite, but I guess you could say that, but it's not exactly the opposite. But I want to read this out loud. It says, Promptly
Verbatim. Not,
obedient,
don't add nothing. Don't add nothing to it.
promptly
Just read it.
obedient or submissive to the will of another, compliant, yielding to the desires of another, devoted. It literally sounds like subservient. So if Brian Nichols is saying that white should set the standard, does that mean black should be obsequious?
Remember earlier? Yes. Okay,
Yeah.
sure. Yeah. Let me answer the question. Yes. Remember earlier I said that you had like that reality retardant cologne?
Okay, listen to me. Okay, because that has nothing to do with this. I don't know how you can literally talk about manhood and black men should be respected by black women, and then on another hand say white should set the standard and black should be obsequious to that standard. I don't see. Help me understand how you can be a man and yet accept another man's or be obsequious. Now, if you agree with it, hey, I'm happy with the standard that white people set. That's fine. You know, be be who you are, but expecting other people to be obsequious, I think is just not the right thing. And
I told you.
in a way, this is exactly why Solid Snake is going off. He expects black people to be like him. He wants all black people to basically bend to the will of whatever the white standard is. And that's scary. That's almost the opposite of thinking for yourself.
There's a tad bit of projection in the way you
Oh,
responded
you
to
know
that.
what? I don't think I'm projecting at all. I think I'm spot on.
Okay. Well,
Is this current?
black.
This seems outdated to me. I don't know.
Well,
No, it says obsolete. It's not. Obsequious means exactly that.
submissive and to the will of another.
If you want to read the second definition, go right ahead. Servilely or meanly attentive, compliant to excess, cringing, fawning. You like the second definition better?
No, that's fine, but you know, it's not really. It doesn't pertain to this situation at all.
It pertains
You're
precisely.
good with words, but it's not relevant.
It literally suits the bill. If you want to follow a white standard, go right ahead, but don't expect other black people to follow whatever obsequiousness you're comfortable with.
I don't, and you can see
Well,
that in the
no. I
voting.
mean
Wait,
you
hold
in
on.
general,
You can see that in the voting numbers.
You as in plural. People
And
like
you can see that 90% of blacks, or whatever the percentage may be, don't quote me on the 90, voted the other way when everybody else is 50-50.
I'm not
There's a strong disdain in that group.
Dude. We're not talking about voting. We're talking more politics. I'm sorry, more culture.
And I'm also talking about in ways that it shows up.
Politics.
It shows up in 1,000 different ways.
Okay, I need you to actually read what he wrote. Let me go back up here. Brian Nichols says white people should set the standard. I'm saying that is rather obsequious, and if you want to be that way, that's fine, but don't expect other black people to be like folks who want to bend to whatever the standard might be.
I don't, and that's exactly what
I didn't say you
talking
did.
about.
I did not say you did. I'm talking people who want to be like Brian Nichols. Let's pick on him. He's the one who made the statement.
Well, I got a question about this whole thing. If you're not following the white man's rule or the standard that white man set, what is the other standard?
Well, whatever you decide your personal standard is.
My personal standard is not to be a contrarian.
I don't know what that means, but if that's your
if
standard,
the white man set the standard and I roll with the standard,
okay,
it's fine.
you know what? White men set the standard and you go along willingly. If the standard is jump 10 feet or jump off a cliff or a bridge or, whatever. if you are
Actually,
if you
might
are
have some
comfortable.
confusion as to what the standard means. What standard are we talking about?
Okay, well, I
confused.
know exactly what he means.
But what does he mean?
Well, you've heard that I've used the term before. We have a European beauty standard in America.
Does that make or break my day? No. Do you
Okay,
have a better example?
Stop personalizing this.
No,
Nobody,
just give me something I can work with.
nobody
That's
cares
all.
what Dave does, what he does during the day. I'm talking generally. Stop
Okay.
taking it personally.
Why do you think there's the European beauty standard?
Okay,
You wanna-
you know what?
It's a catchphrase.
I'm not
That's
going to
all it
sit
is.
here and teach a cultural studies class.
Well, no, I just never
There
thought
is-
that. I live
there
here
is
too.
a white standard. There is a European beauty standard.
And what is the black one?
I don't know.
You know what?
I don't agree with that.
Well, it's basically well,
Big
if you wanna
ass,
work-
big lips.
Big butts,
well,
man. Twerk, twerk, twerk.
Okay, let's see.
Yeah,
How
twerk.
many stupid people am I going to have to talk to at the same time? Can we do it one at a time?
Well, he gave you an answer you probably wouldn't have came up with, but it's a good
Okay,
answer.
the bottom line. Let's talk about the Crown Act. Where people may want to wear box braids or whatever braids, twists or whatever. Those aren't necessarily a European beauty standard. And up till now, say in the Army, some of these hairstyles weren't even allowed because they didn't fit whatever that European beauty standard was.
Is that beauty though in the Army? Or is that for some other reason?
You know what? I have a feeling I'm wasting my time here.
No, I'm being
you're in
honest.
over your head.
I get what you're
Stanley.
saying,
No,
Stanley, because Stanley.
I am not in over my head. I think y'all are.
No,
Men
You
have
have
to
to
have
beat out
beards.
this journey of your peers, Stanley. You can't do it.
I get what you're saying.
Do men
because,
not
look,
have beards in the Army
Okay.
because they're ugly,
No,
or
can-
because
can
they
I-
have
can I
a
say
some
something?
way they want?
I give up. Let me go back to the video
get-
because
No,
I'm having
I'm
to
obsequious. That's what
No,
I am.
no, no,
literally
listen.
having to teach people who have no clue what I'm talking about.
But I'm a
and I just
woman.
have to live with
Stanley,
that.
I do.
I
do,
grew
Stanley.
up
Stanley.
I will
seeing
literally.
beauty standards
I'm
in
done.
America.
I forgot. You're right. I'm in over my head. I'm
No,
not
you're
even
not, Stanley.
there.
Stanley, listen. In the 50s and 60s and like 40s, like black people used to get perms to have their hair like white people. So
Skin lighteners, all kinds of stuff.
My mom got her hair
so
straight.
you bring a valid point.
But I just think as a woman, wouldn't I have an idea of what I grew up seeing
Okay,
for
you're not
beauty
getting the
standards?
point. This isn't a
I am. I
woman
saw a lot of
thing
beautiful black
necessarily.
women in all the 17
This is not
magazines,
a
fashion
woman thing
magazines.
necessarily. However, that just reminded me. I hear people who say, "Well, you know what? I like my black women with long hair." I've heard John Galt say shit like that. So I think just expecting a woman of African descent to have long flowing hair is a European beauty standard.
Bullshit, Stanley, because they do.
Don't
There are
bullshit
some
me,
that do.
son. Don't
Okay,
bullshit
all right.
me, son.
I all do bullshit with all due respect. Okay.
Hey,
All
I've
I'm
heard
saying is-
so many black manosphere people talk about bald heads.
I'm
Stanley.
just saying, I saw beautiful
can you
black
hold on
women
1 second, Blue
represented
Jay?
in all the mainstream things
Can
I
you
was
hold
growing
on
up.
1 second, Blue Jay?
Yes.
Dave, how many times have I heard people talk about, oh, she's got a bald head? Have you ever heard someone say that?
Like fawning over a bald
Okay,
head?
dude, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, they say that if she has a wig, she probably bald.
Yeah.
The reason she's wearing a wig is because of a European beauty standard. She doesn't want to wear her hair natural or how it grows out of her head. It shocks me that grown people don't know this stuff.
Well, yes, we do.
But black
you
women
said
don't
that
say
I
that.
was being
Then you're pretending to be dumb?
No, you said I
heard
was
black
being
women say they don't
obsequious.
do
It
that.
sounds like they're being obsequious. So
No,
maybe I'm not the one you use that word on.
Dave, do you remember me asking you, is it okay to basically follow a white standard?
And yes, and you gave me no
And
examples of
your
a black
answer
one.
was what?
I said yes, and there's no
Okay, well
examples of a
then
black one.
now that's why I came up with the word obsequious.
No,
I think it's
obsequious
just
is
fashion.
no, obsequious is when they put on the long straight hair or they perm
No,
their
no, no,
natural
no,
hair.
no.
Doesn't mean they hate
Obsequious,
themselves.
obsequious is when you just blindly go, "Hey, whites have the standard, I have to meet it."
Yes, and they put a wig on to do it.
Right, and that to me is being obsequious.
Have you ever heard T talk about that? I mean, sometimes they just want to try
I'm
different
sorry, have
hairstyles.
I heard T do what?
Not just because black women wear a weave and change their hair, it's fashion. It doesn't mean they hate themselves or think they're
Okay,
ugly.
wait, whoa. Who
Uh-oh.
talked about somebody hating themselves?
Well, you're saying they feel like
Okay,
they have to be
no.
somebody else.
I
That's a
need
form
you
of
to
self-hate.
stop right there. Who was talking about people
Okay,
hating
it was
themselves?
hyperbolic wording. My bad. I'm just saying, if
Okay,
you feel
well,
like you have to be something else, it's
what
because
you're
you're not
doing
good
is,
enough.
I wasn't talking about people hating
I
themselves.
know. I took that back. But the pressure to be like something else is indicating that you don't feel
Well,
like
no, I
you
don't
meet
even
a
think
standard.
there's a pressure. I think maybe if you're like Brian Nichols and think white people should set the standard, there's no pressure.
Well, white people
There
can't
is
help how they
no
look
pressure.
either. Are we? What are we? We
You
look the way
are
we're born too.
obsequious. You are obsequious in that case, and you want to follow the standard.
Okay, so wait. So I'm obsequious to his
I didn't
statement.
say you were. I'm talking hypothetically.
As an example, just an example.
Well, you were probably the perfect example.
Oh, good. I'm obsequious to the example that was on the screen, but in reality, the people who put straight hair in their head are actually living obsequiously, right?
Probably if they're trying to meet a European beauty standard.
See, I can't be black because that analogy was so good, and they say black people are bad at analogies.
Yeah,
I'm proving it.
To be honest, someone Brian Nichols' age, I was actually kind of shocked that because I mean I'm his age, and you know what? There are things, that I like books and all that stuff. I mean, you could argue that I'm meeting some European or some standard, but at least I'm doing it willingly. I don't feel that I have to. And as a matter of fact, I would almost say I'm going against a white standard because, and I'm not even being facetious when I say this, I think the current white standard, as far as, I think Be Brave is kind of like emblematic of the current white standard. And I say this, no kidding. I think I'm dead serious when I say that.
You think it represents the majority of white people's attitudes? I don't.
Definitely MAGA. Yes.
Are you saying that you're saying that facetiously. You said
no.
MAGA.
I'm dead serious. I think Be Brave probably if you took Be Brave, he says he's a socialist. I understand that part, but I would say attitude wise, he is typical. I think Trump is the most American president we've had in quite some time. Representative of like American values, and I think Be Brave is right up there with him.
In what regard are you talking about? In relation,
I mean, overall, racist. He thinks he's great.
Oh, I disagree with that.
He revels in his failure, and I think I think, well, he pretty much thinks because he's white, he is emblematic of excellence.
Yeah, I mean, he's different. I think I've never heard any white people that I know talk about how black crime is ruining the country. I've never heard that besides. I've only heard Be Brave say
I'm
that.
not
Really?
talking about him talking about black crime.
Well, you said the racist part.
Well, he is a racist. I'm saying he is very full of himself.
He's white power.
Mainly, and he'll tell you, "Hey, I'm white, therefore I'm excellent." That's basically his attitude.
But I don't think he's very common. I don't think that's shared by many people. Personally,
I think it is. I think many people don't share it, as in they don't talk about it the way he does. He's very open about it, but I think deep down in their breasts, they are just like that.
I don't think people even think about that kind of stuff for the most
I'm
part, unless
50 years old, ma'am. I literally
but
went
you live in
first.
Georgia.
I literally went first through 12th to Catholic schools, and generally I was one of two people in my classes. I know a lot about white people.
But yeah, and I can't speak for the South, but I want to say it's a big country
Okay,
and there's
no,
a
I
lot of
don't
different
mean
opinions.
just in the South. I mean nationwide, coast to coast, north to south. Because I've lived in the North, I was in the Navy, I've met people of all types. My experience, and it is just my experience, I'm not, putting any data behind this, just my experience is that there are a ton of Be Braves out there.
Do you find they're mostly in his age group?
No, I'm talking at least between, let's just say, up to 60. I mean, I'm 60, people in my peer group, I'm an older, well, I'm right at the tip top of Gen X. I would say Gen X and boomers specifically. I think millennials, well, I'm going to add millennials, especially the elder millennials. I would say after the millennials, Gen Z or whatever, they're probably not quite that way, but I think Trump wants them to be that way.
You
And
think Trump's racist?
that's kind of a separate argument. I think this patriotic education, this wanting to take over the elite colleges, the notion that liberals have taken over higher education and we want to bring them back to the right. I think Trump is literally trying to bring Be Bravitude to Gen Z and the later or later generations.
So you're associating liberalism with race?
I'm sorry, what?
So because he's against liberalism,
No, I
you
think
think
he's a
that means he's talking
racist.
about
It
race?
really doesn't have that much to do with liberalism.
Yeah, I don't either. That's what I'm saying. If he wants to turn, he's against all these liberal colleges agendas, and I don't see how that makes him like a
Okay, well, you don't have
racist.
to. Bottom line is that the Be Brave attitude, he does not, he basically wants people to be Western chauvinists. Basically, when I say Western chauvinist, basically white people are the greatest thing since white bread.
I've never heard Trump say that.
And
I've seen nationalists.
I don't think Gen Z or generations that come after Gen Z necessarily feel that that affinity or that white is necessarily all that great. I think with the patriotic education that you hear people like Ron DeSantis talk about, he took over a lot of the higher education stuff, getting rid of cultural studies, just basically wanting to take higher education and move it back towards the center or even to the right. I think Donald Trump is basically trying to you hear Donald Trump all the time say that they are looking to change the culture. And I think
Immigrants?
that is
Is that what you're
Donald
saying?
Trump's attempt to make sure that generations, Gen Z and later generations, don't drift over into this DEI mindset. They want white to be the standard, like Brian Nichols says. White people should be, white culture, European culture should be the standard that everyone else measures themselves up against, regardless of color. And
But
I think that that is literally how it was 100 years ago, and I think it's regressive. I think that you will not grow or get better if you're going back to standards, from 50 or 100 years ago.
okay, I guess I just don't see American culture as a white culture because they left a white country in
Okay,
England. They
America
left
is
England, which was white,
literally
and they did something totally different.
America is literally a white culture. You hear Be Brave say it all the time. It's a white man's country.
Where else does this culture exist in other white
Okay,
countries
I
then?
don't care about that. I'm talking about America.
I know. If America's one
Don't
of a
ask me
kind,
where else it exists. It exists in America, and that's what I'm talking about.
okay.
So back to what I said. I think Brian Nichols kind of shocked me because he's roughly my age. I've literally like never heard a black man say that whites should set the standard.
I'm still not even clear on what that means. Like as far as the
I
only thing you
don't
said was
know.
beauty standard. I
I
don't know what
don't know how to help you. I can recommend books.
Well, no, you said it. I said, what is that? How do you define white standard? And you said, well, the
I can
beauty
recommend
standard for
books.
one.
I
And
don't
then
have time to teach a remedial class in white American culture.
I'm not a remedial. But it's okay.
I am shocked that you don't know this.
Well, I'm shocked that you can't give me like. If I don't, then I would just ask for like a couple of examples of what you mean by that. I literally don't know what you're talking about. I'm not even trying to be obtuse.
I believe that you don't know. I don't doubt you. Here, let me see. Let's see. Hold on one sec. I'm going to start this video. I got a book that I'll recommend to you.
These were the standards that the whites created. Nobody was born thinking like this, and the Negroes and Mexicanos didn't volunteer themselves to be placed in that position. The whites put them there, and the rest of the society accepted these as the gold standards, including Negroes and Mexicanos. That's what happens when you let people hijack your power and plant ideas into the garden of your mind that cause self-destruction. The areas in which these groups are concentrated become stigmatized as slum neighborhoods, and there is a tendency to blame the group for the condition of the area. Part of it was their fault, but also another part of it was not. One factor that complicates this whole matter of land values for the areas in question are predominantly slums is the fact that the undesirable groups usually inherit sections of the city that the older, more well-to-do inhabitants have abandoned, and thus the undesirable racial factor is so merged with other unattractive features such as proximity to factories, poor transportation, old and obsolete buildings, poor street improvements, and the presence of criminal or vice elements that the separate effect of race cannot be disentangled.
Just a quick pause. I dropped a link into the chats, and then I also put it in the back chat up here. The book is called The Birth of Whiteness. It talks about Eurocentrism and some of the things I talked about. You can start there, and there are a lot of other books that kind of cover this topic, but that's the one that came to mind first.
Hey Stanley, are you going to be able to stream in the morning, or are you going to be too tired?
Oh shit! It is getting late. I'll probably be able to, but
Okay.
it may not be. I didn't even realize how late it's gotten.
Man, we've been going all day, but this has been fun. I ain't gonna lie to you. I do have to get some homework done before I
Well,
hit the sack.
you go right ahead. I know you have homework.
All right, man. Y'all have a good night.
All right, take it easy.
All right,
Yep.
see ya.
Let's see. We'll
The bad
finish
roads, old buildings, and poor
I was
streets were
hoping
already
that,
there before these so-called undesirable groups
the
moved in.
Ruvalo crew would start
And
up.
that's the responsibility of the city and the wealthier people who left. But once these groups took over the area, things like crime and vice became attached to the entire group's reputation. So the authors are saying that it's hard to tell what problems came from race prejudice and what problems were already part of those neglected neighborhoods. But in people's minds, it all got mixed together and pinned on the new residents. This is what they're talking about. Given the definition of an area and the people in it as undesirable, the expansion of the area will be resisted. If, however, individuals within it are able to change the telltale marks of poverty, name, foreign language, or distinctive customs, they may move out and lose themselves in middle-class native-born white neighborhoods. This is referring to the undesirable European immigrants, like the Greeks and Russians. Now pay attention what's being said here. if they were able to detach themselves from their undesirable reputation by getting rid of their name.
You know what? I just discovered that oh goddamn, let's do this.
The beat.
I see that Truism wants to talk about Trump's big beautiful bill, which is a surprisingly serious topic for him. I'm kind of impressed.
I guess I could download the PDF. Sheesh. I mean, I guess I could do that as
What's
well.
up, Angel?
But it is a man.
You have graced us with your presence. How you been?
Been doing all right, Stanley.
Good to see you.
No
Hey, Angel.
way. What's up, Angel?
Hey.
Missed you, buddy.
We have put you center screen.
Thank you.
So, what's been going on? I saw you over on CT's show. Heard some of the stuff you were talking about, what you've been up to the past few months. But we're glad to see you back over here.
I actually was a bit scared of coming on here.
Why?
I don't know.
We'll ease you back into the routine gently.
I was really happy to see you're doing well, Angel. I thought about you every now and then, so I'm glad. It's good to have you back.
I'm happy to see you doing good, bro.
So,
my lion brother.
Other than gracing everybody with your return, what have you been up to?
I was in a behavioral health center.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, did you get through it? Did you learn anything? Or you better?
Yeah, I'm better.
So good to hear.
Are you back to living on your own, or are you staying in like a home with other people, or?
I am actually staying with my sister for right now.
Okay.
How is that going? Are y'all not too much friction?
Not too much friction.
Good for
I
you.
still love my sister.
So are you cooking? Are you cleaning? Are you kind of getting back into the domestic routine?
I have been ordering out a lot.
Oh, can't do that. Did you ever cook?
No.
Well, you know what? I'm not going to harangue you with it, but I started cooking. Well, I mean, I knew how to cook, since I was a kid because I was the oldest, and sometimes I'd wind up making breakfast or something. Excuse me, breakfast or something for my brother and or sister. And when I was about 25, I moved to Norfolk, Virginia, and didn't know anybody. And one day I was watching some cooking show, and I'm like, well, gee, you know what? I have nothing better to do. I live within walking distance of a grocery store, and I've basically been cooking, I'd say kind of a serious home cook type of guy since I was 25. And I actually find it really relaxing to cook. And if you ever have guests or women kind of get impressed when you can cook a kind of a fancy meal for them. Just as and it may not be your thing, but I would highly recommend it if you ever think about it.
Shit, today I made my wife and kids some Brussels sprouts made with some what was it? And a little bit of bacon fat in there.
Yeah.
Bacon. And then I made chicken breast, salt, garlic, pepper, and then with some homemade mac and cheese and a little salad on the side.
Look at you.
Keep it healthy. Keep it healthy.
Mac and cheese is healthy. Yeah, cookie's fun. It's fun to do together too as a couple.
Speaking, let's see, where is it? Damn it, did I not save this recipe? You were just talking about chicken breasts. There was a recipe that I ran across in the New York Times. So I get the look at the cooking section. Damn it. Anyway, I there's a recipe I actually do want to show you, believe it or not. Latino. I'll find it and put it up in just a second. So what else been going on, Angel? Any ideas where you're gonna go from here?
No, just right now, doing all that I can to make myself stable again.
Are you looking for a job?
I'm gonna be looking for a job while staying at my sister's.
One second here. Give me 1 second.
Do you feel like that behavioral treatment center was helpful for you? Did you learn some good techniques?
It was more like a prison, to be honest, but they could have helped me in some way.
Yeah. Don't they have you go to like little classes during the day and stuff like that to kind of keep you on a schedule, and some of it's mental health?
Yeah, they had like 5 groups a day.
Okay. Well, you may have learned things that you don't realize, and then later you'll be like, oh, wow, I just implemented that strategy I learned there. I didn't even realize I had picked up on it. And then you might find yourself, kind of incorporating those into your life. So,
yeah.
Damn it. You know what? It sucks getting old.
Is the chicken sauced?
No, it's basically like a chicken breast recipe with lemons, cherry tomatoes, and it looked really good. It was kind of Mediterranean. I'm not that big a fan of lemon in
I've
food.
had that. I know what
but
you're talking about.
sometimes it actually is good.
That's crazy because I actually like chicken piccata and stuff like that, and I like
That shit's fire.
lemon
my
salt
favorite.
lemon pepper wings and shit and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But what I do not like is like lemon pastries, anything that has to do with like sweets and lemon. As long as it's a lemonade, I'm cool with that. But everything else, I'm not. I don't like it.
Okay, so this is lemon and garlic chicken with cherry tomatoes.
Yeah, I could do that.
Yeah, and let's see here. I'm gonna put this recipe in the back. It's kind of
Is it called
something.
chicken scampi? Is that what it
No.
is? Oh.
It probably has a similar profile, but this has tomatoes in it. It's got olive oil, lemon juice, garlic, rosemary, salt, pepper, and then cherry tomatoes. So it's probably pretty similar to chicken scampi.
Yeah. Okay. Put tomatoes on it. That'll be good.
But I don't know. I was gonna actually do the recipe maybe tomorrow, but I don't think I'm gonna get a chance to.
I think those are my favorite desserts, like key lime pie or lemon bars. I'm all about that.
I can't. I don't know why, man. I just don't like it. Can't do it.
Y'all making
I don't
me
like
hungry. I'm
other
about to go
fruits,
get
so I
some
don't like
food.
chocolate, raspberry, chocolate, or I don't like that kind of stuff.
I could do a chocolate raspberry cake. I don't mind that, but I can't do the lemon or lime. Mm-mm. It's just so nasty to me.
That's interesting. I think. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, actually, I do. If we still got it, but so
That
anyway, I
actually
was.
looks like a really good recipe of what you were showing there, Stanley.
Yeah, I put it in the back chat.
Is it
Uh,
angel hair that you use?
I don't think this calls for pasta at all, does it?
Oh.
Nah, but you
Yo,
know, you can
Angel,
do.
where the fuck you been at, nigga?
You can make a dish on the side, you know, to eat it with some rice
Right. Yeah.
pilaf, some pasta, something. You know what I mean?
I mean, I don't know why you couldn't put
Can
it
y'all
over
niggas
pasta.
hear me or not?
Yeah, I can
What?
hear you, tough guy. Oh yes, Angel, what have you been doing?
I was asking Angel where he been at.
It's tough guy, Angel.
Angel, we can't hear you if you're talking. Is he still here?
I'm still here. Tough guy. I was in a behavioral health.
You was in a behavioral what?
I was in a behavioral
Hello?
health center.
Oh,
Can you hear me,
somebody
tough
put you.
guy?
I can now.
So it
Can you
limits.
hear me?
Well, okay. So what's what they're doing is effective
Yeah, I can hear
October 1st,
you.
2026 limits federal
Okay, good.
matching payment for emergency Medicaid to the state's vertical FMAP for individuals who would otherwise. Oh, so now, okay. So here we go. Here we go.
I read about this the other day.
Cutting off is already limiting, but it's going to come October 1st of next year. So by October 1st of next year, a lot of the funding for let's just call it illegals. That's basically what this is basically for. A lot of the kind of funding for medical assistance and whatever programs, that answer what FMAP stands for, that's going to be cut for people who are not legally here or not supposed to be here legally.
And
God,
also,
you
it
guys-
makes people work 20 hours if you're.
You know what?
Unfortunately,
Here is the deal. Basically, these guys are so crazed to get like illegals out of the country, and B, don't give them any benefits, that they are literally willing to cut off their nose despite their face. It is amazing. And there's going to be a whole lot of I told you so's coming up
Well,
in
can
the
I
next.
just say how it affects Americans on that? Because they raised that it used to be 54. You could have like SNAP benefits, which is the food stamps, and then also Medicaid if you were 54 and you didn't work. And also, so they raised the age to like 63 for that, unless you work 20 hours a week. Also, if you have a child if your children are 14 or older and you don't work, then you can't get it unless you work 20 hours a week because you don't need to, you don't stay home with kids. So it's only affecting those two groups, and all they have to do is work 20 hours a week to still get it.
You said all they have to do is work 20 hours a week?
Yeah, like if an able-bodied
And
person has children,
what do they do with the 14-year-olds? Any ideas?
they can stay home alone at that age.
You know what? I think basically,
Won't they be in school?
I think it's a bad idea, especially if you're a single mother. Part of the problem that we have in America is the poor parenting. And part of the reason for poor parenting, and I would say only part of it, is because parents have to work 2 and 3 jobs. We don't consider parenting a job.
Well, then they said you only have to work 20 hours a week.
Part, you know what? I don't have a problem with working 20 hours a week as long as you have a place to park your kids. And I just don't know that the solution is, oh, a 14-year-old can keep himself.
Well, they go to school.
Okay, again, I don't know if a 14-year-old can keep himself these days. I can think, and maybe it's more TV that I'm thinking of, but a 14-year-old in the hood without a parent home.
That's what I
Um,
did. I was
okay,
lived in a hood, and I was come home from school until my mom got
a
home from work. I mean,
14-year-old in the hood. There are a lot of things that 14-year-old can get
Nowadays,
into.
nowadays
I
it's
was
not
in
the
the hood,
same.
and I was
Nowadays
14.
is not. Hey,
You know
Blue
what?
Jay.
Comparing
Nowadays it's not.
yourself, I'm never one. Conservatives in general do a whole lot of I did this or I
No, it's
didn't
just
do that
I,
or
I
okay,
don't
Well, we
see
I
how
got
need
you
to
can
cameras and
say
finish
shit
what
that
I
a
need to
nowadays.
woman
People
shouldn't
be
finish.
have
having
to.
cameras in their
I
house.
am going to finish what I have to say and you can speak after I'm done. I think putting yourself in the center of everybody else's narrative is not an argument. Okay. I shit, when I was 14, I used to stay home for maybe a couple hours. Maybe my parents went to the store or something. I think there is a whole lot more trouble kids can get into, especially if you don't
Yep.
live in the burbs. Okay, I don't. I used to. You know what? I used to stay home at 14. I don't know that I've ever left my son home, even when he was 14. Now, the circumstances are slightly different. I was a single parent, which is why I kind of have perspective on things like this. Where I lived when my son was 14 was up on the mountain. There wasn't a whole lot of, stuff he could get into. And then usually, there were neighbors, etc. I just don't know that we take parenting seriously enough. If you can, there's no guarantee that that 20 hours a week is going to be during school hours. What if the job you get is like overnight or something?
Where's the other parent?
Okay,
She said single
you
mother.
do realize we have a problem with with unwed mothers. We have for
Well,
decades, right?
I get that. But I'm saying if you have to work 20 hours a week and you have like a 15-year-old and a 17-year-old, you could do it during the day while they're home. If you have to
Okay,
arrange
if
family
you
or someone to help
I
you at
think
night,
I
then I
think
guess that's
you
what you got
have
to do.
too much faith that that person is going to be able to get a job part-time during work hours.
Well,
And
they
nobody
still
wants
get
to
the
do.
benefits for the kids. That's what you're not. That's what you're missing. They don't
And
get the
and
benefits for themselves, so it lowers their amount. So they'll still get the food stamp amount for the kids, regardless if they have a job or not.
yeah, but it
Well,
doesn't help
wait,
the.
hold it. You'll get the food stamps for the kids, but not for yourself?
Right. That's how they do it.
Okay, that
That's
makes it better.
yeah. That's what they're doing in the new bill. Yeah.
Well, no, I'm kidding. It doesn't make it better.
Well, that's what it is. I'm just saying. So if it's $600 because it's 200 per person, they'd get 400 if they don't want to work 20 hours.
Well, I just think
Or they
we
can
don't take
volunteer.
parenting seriously
Yeah,
enough.
they can volunteer. You're right. They don't have to get paid. Yeah, it's true. You can have a volunteer type job as long as you're doing some 20 hours a week that you can show proof of that. Yeah. So they're just trying to eliminate people writing it out.
So a volunteer job, an unpaid job counts?
Yes.
Interesting.
Which makes no sense because I wouldn't volunteer. if I'm in need, I wouldn't volunteer for free.
Well, I think that helps in case you can't get the job, like Stanley was saying. But you can usually find a place during school hours that you can go volunteer for 4 hours or whatever, right? So if you're having trouble with the childcare and all that, there is a little loophole.
Well, I would actually defer to your expertise. To me, I just have so many questions, and luckily, I don't need the answers because my son's an adult now.
Yeah, and then the other one is like I said, there is the age. It used to be at 54, you could be able-bodied and not working and qualify for like food stamps. And these are people no dependents. So now they say it's 63, which is normal retirement age, right?
And the other thing, kind of similar but not quite the same. I have a huge problem when I hear people talking about, lazy people not working, the able-bodied. I think if you're able-bodied and want to work, people are already working. I'm a little bit reluctant to, go with the welfare queen theory. And even if there are welfare queens, I'm willing to just say, you know what? I would much rather have a welfare queen getting over than go the other way and have people who really need the benefits not get them.
Yeah, and I think that if you qualify for the food benefits and all that, you also qualify for child care assistance. So
Okay, you've totally missed my point. I would
no,
rather
I get what you're
have
saying. I get it.
I would rather have a welfare queen or two than have people who actually need the benefits not get it because we're so concerned with getting rid of the welfare queens.
And it doesn't necessarily mean they won't get it. It just means the states have a choice whether they want to pick up the pieces where that's left
Well,
off. So
you know
some
what?
people will still get it, but it's state funded.
Well, all of it's state funded. Medicaid is pretty much administered by the state. I just think that some states are going to be a little bit more recalcitrant um, than others.
Right.
I basically think you're going to have people not getting benefits that probably actually need them. I don't get a warm fuzzy that everybody who needs it is going to be able to get it.
And you
But
may be right about that. I don't disagree. I'm just saying, I think that people are trying to make it seem like every, poor mom is going to be like
People are going to
ripped out of their
die.
hands and the kids are going to starve to death and all this. But it doesn't take the kids' money away at
no,
all.
I think there are going to be people who need it and don't get it. That's my fear. And I don't think that's necessarily being a chicken little.
Do you think there's people already like that though? Because if you're under
Probably,
54 and you don't have any money or kids, you can't get it.
probably it is already like that, and probably it's going to get worse. But that, you know what? Again, it's just my opinion. I don't have data to back it up.
Do you think that new information makes it a little better at least?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Does that new information though about like the restrictions, the age and the working and all that, does that change your opinion at all? Like a tiny bit? Maybe that's not quite as bad as some make it sound.
Well, I actually think mentioning the 14 and 15-year-olds and, just some things that I've heard over the past few months, they're going to expect that 14 or 15-year-old to be working too.
No, because they still get they don't have to be working to get their benefit.
Well, no. I didn't say they had to. I said they're going to expect.
No, because the thing is as long as somebody in the house, it has to be either the wife or the husband or the single mom or somebody has to make the 20 hours per household.
Yeah, true. So if there's a husband and wife and the husband works, the wife can still get benefits on her behalf, yes, even though she doesn't work, as long as you're right. There's one adult working at least 20 hours, yes.
Like I said, you know what? I have to defer because I don't have data to back up, my concerns. And I'm not going to go do the research. It's not that important to me.
Well, Stanley, what I think is going to end up happening is that there's going to be people that are well connected with certain people. I mean, not saying everybody, but there's going to be a certain amount of people that are going to be connected, and they're going to find a way to get 20 hours from somebody without having to even show up. So at the end of the day, does it really even matter?
You know what? Like I said, I have to defer. I'm not going to, argue the point because I'm really just out here naked making the point.
Like, I'm pretty sure, like, you know what I mean? Like, you could just find.
No, I know what you mean. And the thing is, is both of you guys are closer in age. I'm old enough that I probably, I think you guys probably know more about this than I do.
The one thing I do agree on the most, though, is like the illegals getting benefits and stuff, that is being taken away. You know, that takes away the incentive of them coming over here. And not only that, I had an argument with my friend's ex-wife one time, and she didn't believe this. Like, I was telling her that this is like a thing, like where they get Section 8, the kids go to school, they get Medicaid. And she was like, nah, that doesn't happen because they're illegal. And I'm like, well, you're wrong. You're in Massachusetts, and the fact that you don't know that is crazy. And look.
Well, the problem is the law basically says they have to get it.
But they're changing
why,
that law.
that's
Right?
why I keep harping on we're making all these changes without actually going in and changing the amnesty laws and the refugee
See, I
sort
did
of
not know that.
laws. Yeah.
See, so
I mean,
see, so
literally, the U.S. government, if you come to this country and you ask for amnesty, the law basically says you have to provide food, shelter, medical.
yeah, basically take care of you until you get on your
I
feet.
think they're still doing that. It's just
No,
the
no,
people
no,
that
no, no.
lied.
No.
Right.
They will have to take care of you until you get a court date. Part of the problem is that, these court dates are so far out. There's such a backlog.
That's true.
And basically this is a problem that I think everybody should have known was going to happen. Reagan did that general amnesty back in the 80s, and they did nothing to prevent the problem from happening again.
Is that when the sanctuary cities thing started?
No, it's nothing to do with sanctuary cities. The law should have been, after he declared the general amnesty, they've been talking about immigration reform for decades and just never did it. I think the closest was Bush Jr., and it got shot down. I can't remember why. But I was looking at a law a few months ago, like 6 months ago, that I think Carter signed. And it was basically saying, it literally says damn it, can't remember the name of it. I think it was John Galt, the white John Galt, who brought it to my attention. Believe that or not. Basically saying, you know what? The U.S. provides food, shelter. This is a statute. Food, shelter, medical for refugees. And same thing with amnesty. This amnesty stuff is actually kind of like an international law or like a UN thing.
Blue Jay.
Uh-huh.
Do residents still qualify for Medicaid? I don't know. I haven't read in that deep into it.
Yeah, the only thing I read differently is that, again, the age for like an individual single person that's not working, that doesn't have disability or something like that, they can't do it at 54 now. That was the previous age, and now it's 63. And then if you have dependents that are 14 and older. So other than that, nothing changes. So
But residents still could be applicable.
Oh, so you're not saying citizens, you mean like visa or what do you mean?
Yeah, like a resident. That's what a resident is.
I'm not sure about that, honestly. I read more about how it affected Americans, and I saw that there's like a list of immigrant statuses that don't qualify and do. So I couldn't like tell you.
Yeah, because if my whole thing is, if it did, then that would be kind of messed up, because if you think about it, these are taxpayers as well.
Yeah, so I think it's different. I think it's more people that are temporary status or are here. I don't know. And again, the refugees and things like that, they will be still covered under state or even, organizations that help refugees and things like that. So there's not like zero help. But I just think, I don't blame them for wanting to do something, because we can't have people just using the system. Either, not saying that there's so many to do. I don't believe there are, but if they have something to kind of motivate and push people to like do for themselves. I don't think that's horrible. I mean,
I think
And
it's
I think that most people who can do for themselves do for themselves. I've never been one to think that this problem with people, being lazy and not working. I think that problem has been overblown.
yeah, same here, Stanley. And I'm gonna tell you, I don't even think it's that. I think that they just basically are trying to find a way to put a little bit into the system as while you use it. That's all it is, to be honest with you.
Right.
I think it's more like people get stuck in it. I don't think anybody wants that. I think that what happens is if people get some assistance with like their rent and then their food and then so to go get a job, they really have to counteract. They have to kind of weigh the odds. Like I could go work 40 hours a week, but I'm basically only going to bring home another $400. So like, is it worth it, or do I spend my time doing something else? So I think that's more what it is.
Blue
People
Jay,
feel kind
Blue
of
Jay, Blue
stuck.
Jay. Let's be honest. Like, we got some ghetto ass people that live in the projects, and I got family members that are just like this. So you would expect this person to be behind the cash register, serving you with an attitude? No, just leave them in their house, man.
I don't know if that's the solution. But I get what you're saying. I mean,
Like,
they
why
don't
are we
have to be
gonna disturb the
customer
peace,
service
man? Like,
jobs though. They could be stalking and
it's moving smooth right now. Like, come on.
yeah, and like I said, I'm not saying, oh yay, they're cutting the benefits. No, I'm not saying that at all. I don't really have a strong opinion on whether it's good or bad. I guess time will tell. But I'm just saying I think that it's important to know exactly what they're talking about when they say, oh, millions of Americans are losing their benefits and everybody's gonna be like starved to death. I think that
Now,
hyperbole is harmful.
now, can I ask you a question, Blue Jay? Right. So let's agree to disagree. Right. Let's say why haven't they also implemented in that bill? Let's say, because I'm not very happy too much with that bill either. You know, like there's certain things I like and certain things I don't. Right. But let's say that they took away the cap on Section 8 on how much money you could have in your savings account. You think that would make a difference?
Oh, I don't know that much about Section 8. I know,
See,
is
but
that
this is the
even?
thing, right? You don't know that much about Section 8, right? So, but you're here saying
I've heard
that,
there's long lists and stuff, so it
yeah,
might help.
but you're here saying that people shouldn't live off the system, right? But did you not know that if you live in Section 8 or in housing, you can have a certain amount of money in your bank account?
That makes sense. I mean, I would think they'd want to know your assets and what you can do first
But
before.
then how can you progress in life if you can't save?
That's what I'm saying. How people get stuck.
So is it stuck or is it by design?
No, why don't they use their savings skills while they're in the process of looking for employment? I don't. I mean, what I.
Do you get what I'm saying, Stanley?
Yeah.
So you think people should be able to have a big nest egg, but then also get free
Yes,
stuff? Or
I believe that number should be lifted. It shouldn't be $10,000. It should be more
because
than
then you're
that. It
just
should be
going to take
50.
it from people that don't have
It
savings.
should
Because
be
isn't there
50.
like a 5-year
But
waiting
listen
list?
to me,
I've
Blue
heard.
Jay. Listen to me. It should be 50 because the day that they have 50, that's enough for them to put down on a house. That should be enough for them to be financially stable and know how to manage some of their assets. So when they do move into a house, now they give the next person an opportunity in that Section 8 while they move forward in their life. But you
But
cannot
that's
do that
considered high
if my
savings.
limit is $10,000.
The average person doesn't even have 50 grand, I don't think, in America. So you're basically trying to put everybody on it.
Yeah,
I don't see
but
that.
they
I
could
don't think
save.
that is good because I think that
They could
hurts people
save
that
50
actually are
grand in 5
destitute.
years. Trust me.
Okay, but what about the people that don't have any savings and they can't get Section 8 because they get on a waiting list for 5 years? Because there are people on it that have 50 grand sitting in the bank. You think that's right?
Well, I don't think it's right that they should put a cap on how much money a person should have.
But by not
If you
having a
want them to
cap,
get out
what
of it,
you're
if you want
saying
them to
is that
progress, that's the way you
more.
progress is by saving your assets.
But there's only so much money that they can give to Section 8. And then so a woman that gets divorced or loses her job that really needs help right then, she can't get it because these other people are just kind of sitting on it while they build up their down payments. And I don't agree with that at all. If there was no waiting list and everybody that needed help was getting help, then maybe. But in this current situation, I think that's actually detrimental.
I mean, my whole thing is we complain about this stuff, but at the end of the day, they also don't create any solutions to stop the thing that they're complaining about. Like, look what I just told you. That doesn't make any sense. If you want anybody to progress in life, the best way is you let them work. You don't up their rent because they're making more money now. That means that you want them to stay there.
Up the rent. No, what you're assuming though is that those people are saving that money and that they are also putting it toward a home.
I mean, this is the thing. That's why I agree. There should be a cap. And I said 5 years. And in 5 years you can't get your shit together, then I'm sorry, you're gonna have to pay market rent somewhere. Because we gave you time to figure it out.
So how do you take care of people that don't have even 10 grand? They can't even get a hotel. They need to put their kids somewhere.
I mean, me and my wife, I mean, luckily for us, we were paying what? We were paying what, $2,500 a month for 3 years? Because when we first moved there, it was 17. And then the last 3 years of the 5 years that we lived there, we paid at least 23 to 2,500.
Well, rents are too high. I'll give you that. Yeah, rent's way too high.
Right? So what did we do in that 3 years? We said, hey, we're gonna have to stop going out. No more partying like we used to. No more buying unnecessary shit. Invest money in certain stocks, and see where it takes us in the next 3 years. And that's how we got our money to put down on the house.
Yeah, I mean, there should be better, easier way for people to get into a home without large down payment, for one. But two, immigration has hurt rental prices. But immigration has hurt rent prices too, because there's a lot of people in supply and demand, not as many houses, so they can charge more. And so that hasn't helped. But I agree that rent is out of control and that entry to a home is difficult and it should not be that hard. Yes. I don't think the answer is just giving people a free place to live.
Another thing, you want all these people that didn't have a job to go work, right? Where are these jobs going to come from?
There's a lot of entry level.
No, because that's what they said. What you just said right now. There's a lot of jobs, but let's be honest.
No, I didn't say a lot of jobs. I said there's entry level. Okay, I did say that, but I meant as far as like the bulk of jobs are entry level. I would think they get smaller and smaller in supply as you get up into more specialized positions.
Oh no, man, it's just.
So you think people? I don't know. I guess I'm not canceling my question.
I'm not saying that people should live off the system and abuse the system. I'm not saying that, but what I am saying is like there should be other alternatives. It's like Stanley said. Like for instance, I don't think this should have had changed, but we could have had gone to the amnesty. We could have had gone to certain laws of Medicaid for these people not to get it if that was the issue.
Isn't that what they're trying to do now?
You know what I mean? Reform, but I guess it's much easier for Trump to do it the way he did it, I guess.
I don't know. I guess I'm not really following you. Like what they should do. I think he is trying to reform that. This is a new problem. I mean, Biden let in like 10 times more illegal immigrants than any other president before him. So, I mean, it's not like this is something that we know how to fix. It's more uncharted, and who knows how it will turn out. Time will tell. We really don't know. But I think if you sneak in and you're lying about being a refugee, that's not the same as being a refugee.
I do agree with the whole illegals. Illegals shouldn't get shit. I'm sorry. You're here illegal, bro.
Yeah, I don't think there's any other country really in the world.
Like,
right?
This is the thing. If I was to go anywhere else in the world, I'll get treated the way they're getting treated right now here.
Exactly. It's not like we're the only ones that we're so mean. People don't give people free things when they cross their borders illegally. So I don't understand why it's even such a big fight for it. I mean,
No, I actually think that Europe has been pretty lenient. So is Britain. I also think that, part of the problem we've had with the amnesty stuff is, these court dates have been so far out. You'll get here and you'll get here, declare asylum, and your court date is like 2 years down the road. There's been like a huge backlog, but I think ultimately the problem is changing the laws. I think it's reasonable to say, hey, look, if you are going to come here and declare amnesty, you need to do it in your own country. And then, we deal with it from there. It's just been too easy for people to just cross the border. And by the way, if you cross the border and you declare amnesty, you are no longer illegal. You literally have a legal status, the TPS or whatever, whatever. What is it? I think it was TPS. So
Yeah, John, that is him. Come on.
Yeah, you're right. That's why I think they couldn't send people right back.
A lot of the people, well, Angel's still here. Angel, you're still here, right?
Not deported yet, Angel. He's like the most native of everybody.
Angel probably fell asleep.
Everybody thinks he's Hispanic for some reason. He's Native American.
So anyway, I'm going to watch a little bit of this, but I actually do, if I'm going to get up in the morning, I actually do need to wrap this up because I could not do it. You know what? Fuck it. What do y'all want to do?
I'm cool with whatever. I'm just chilling.
Honestly, there's nothing saying I have to get up in the morning.
I got a little video, right? But it has nothing to do with
Put it in the back.
But I'm gonna give you the context just to see if you want to play it. But it reminds me of like when my grandmother was alive and she used to live in the projects here in Blue Hill. When it used to be projects, because now it's like little complexes. But anyways, so this used to be this old lady. I forgot what her name was. The sister, and she would sell candies and stuff out of her house. So she'll have
like homemade candy.
She'll have homemade candy apples, caramel, the other
really?
ones, and then she'll sell like penny candies. I don't know if you ever heard of like penny candies.
Yeah,
It's
it's
like,
me, urban landlord.
Yeah, and this was in the hood. This was in the hood. So she basically had her own store in the hood, and this video brought me back to that. Like I'm gonna put it in the back.
Well, when I was growing up, I don't know, we called them thrills. Basically, my across the street neighbor, she and her kids used to make extra money during the summer. They would make like Kool-Aid, but they would spike it, with like fresh fruit or frozen fruit and stuff like that. And then they put them in like Dixie cups with the
ices.
stick. Yeah, and basically you could get them, I don't know, like a quarter or something like that. And you know what? They used to sell like hotcakes because you're out there playing basketball, and you know what? We want something cool. Run across the street, get some thrills, we call them. And so yeah, that's what it reminds me of.
When you first said spiked, I thought you meant like spiked it with liquor. Like, whoa. Okay. Yeah, those little businesses can be good.
No, you got Granny selling liquor over here.
Vodka shot.
No,
the Jello shot.
No, we weren't. They weren't. Yeah, that would be in trouble. You'd be in trouble doing something like that.
Yeah. That's what I wish I could have been selling drinks at the free cost. The P. Diddy free cost made a lot of money. Lemonade. But yeah, I've seen those that like they'll sell those icy pops, and keep them in a cooler. Those ones you push up, what I'm talking about? Stuff like that at like sports games and whatever. Kids.
But great to see you again, Blue Jay.
You too, Angel.
Well, so Angel, don't be a stranger, and don't be scared.
Yeah, Angel.
All right.
Don't let them get you out of your character either.
Well, let me tell you something. Before you go, I've just kind of decided to go in a different direction. Every now and again I go up on CT's panel, but I just, you know what? There are a lot of other things to do, that are maybe a little bit more boring than the yelling back and forth. But I actually just kind of like the way we are now is kind of the way I just want to be. I've been doing like a morning show. I'll start up at like 5:45 in the morning, and mostly what I'm doing is just news, politics, culture, that sort of thing. I'm not doing a whole lot of, stuff. Now we do have a beer or two and, get a little rowdy, but it doesn't happen as often as it used to. So you're always welcome here. And, we will probably talk about something like the immigration reform or, the stuff with Medicaid. I prefer doing stuff like that. So bring your newspaper when you come over here.
Yeah, I like it chill and respectful. I once in a while seeing people like fighting is entertaining, but not really. I mean, it's not my thing.
Yeah,
So.
bye, Angel.
Well, let's see what have we got here. POV. This is New Orleans.
Oh yeah, we inside with it. Lord.
Everything you need. One stop shop. One stop shop. You ain't gotta go nowhere. You ain't even gotta go to the store. You can come right here.
T, how long you been doing this right here for? Like
32 years.
32 years. And this how you make your living.
Tell you made about $1 million.
So we gonna do is we gonna just buy the whole damn house today. How much? Furniture. We want the furniture and everything. Oh no, you can't get the furniture. I ain't gonna lie, I think I want one of them goddamn big Texas over there. I want a big Texas. Warm that bitch up for 15 seconds.
Come on, baby.
But he going in the microwave. Man, you could just walk through this lady's house like this? Brother, ain't no way you could just.
Yo, and the thing about it was,
all right, David. We should have
buy from the old lady we used to buy from, right? So the store would sell the chips for like 50 cents. She was selling for 25. So whatever the store would sell, she would sell for probably like 30% or 50% cheaper.
How was she doing that?
Because she was buying whole boat.
Oh, she was okay. I see. She was getting whole.
Yeah. She was caking, man. I don't know whatever happened to that old lady, man.
Yeah.
Making it mad hella money, bro. She had her own little bodega, basically.
Now, how did she escape regulation and stuff like that? I'm surprised. No one ever came looking for a business.
It's the project, Stanley. It's the project, Stanley. You know the rule. No snitching.
She never got robbed?
No,
that's what I was gonna
crazy.
say.
All the OGs used to go there and buy ICs and stuff. Nobody ever touched this old lady. You touch this old lady, it was gonna be problems with the neighborhood.
I got
That's where someone was telling a story similar to that, though, and they said that the
Yeah,
older
you
lady
crazy.
did
You
get
never touched
robbed.
that
So
old
she
lady.
started getting scared to stop. Is that T? I don't remember. Someone was telling a story similar.
This woman is actually like I've been trying to figure out what this woman's story is. I've actually never really watched her, but she just looks like some weird Earth Mother sort of person. So I want to see what she's all about.
I am so done. I am so done.
She's like an Erica Badu type.
For those of you who may be new here, my name is Deja
Call Tyrone.
Farm, my off-grid farm here, Finca Serenidad in rural Costa Rica. Since 2022, it's been 3 years and some months. And I'm tired.
She wants civilization.
Everything is always falling apart.
Yep.
Too many bugs there in Costa Rica.
Let's chat about it.
Oh, that's right. You went to Coast. How was it, other than the bugs?
Yeah, it was really fun.
Doing
We
this
did
alone
zip
is
lining and the catamaran tour.
Not only
and
did I come to
it
Costa
was a good
Rica
time.
literally at 21 years old, I didn't come here with a whole bunch of savings. So when I got the land, when I built this cabin, everything I've ever done, I've always had to raise money. I'm currently running a fundraiser. My goal is to raise $10,000. I've raised about $3,000 so that I can build again, because the structure that I'm in is temporary. It's made out of wood, like from the land and from some land nearby. It's not treated wood. It's full of ants and termites, and most of the ceiling pieces are weak, and some of them are falling down in the back.
Yeah, I picked up a piece of wood when I was in
Completely
Florida,
coming down.
and
Sawdust
I
is always
dropped it
falling
immediately.
from.
This shit was filled with termites.
Yeah.
Costa Rica is the most expensive of all the South American countries. I'm surprised. So I was surprised that it
Probably
wasn't
because
very.
there's so many Americans retired there.
Yeah, so for her to go there, I wouldn't be. Doesn't shock me that it's not that easy.
I don't know that much about her. She got there when she was 21. But what the hell has she been doing? I mean, why did she go there at 21? I wonder.
The pieces, and there's also some holes in some of the roof pieces. So when it rains really hard, which it is rainy season, the roof is leaking. Now I have been through a lot on this farm. If you've seen my vlog series, I have 20 vlogs showing, like, from the beginning to most recently. I think it leads up to 2024, of all the different variety of projects and things and updates to the space that I've had since I got started. I got started in my tent under a plastic roof. So it's been
She's been
beautiful.
alone?
It's been challenging.
That was
Piece
dangerous.
by piece, learning, making mistakes. But the biggest problem for me is actually that I didn't have enough money to just from the beginning just build a solid structure. Right. So in my first fundraiser, I raised, I think, about $4,000. And so that wasn't enough for the land. So I ended up getting family members to donate money for the land. And I used the $4,000 that I raised that was supposed to be for the land for the lawyer fees and also to build this cabin.
Oh my Lord.
So she just went there with
That's all
nothing
it
and
could cover,
expected it to work out.
So yeah, and then along the way, I've had some smaller fundraisers. Sometimes I've run a fundraiser and literally gotten 0 donations, like trying to do things. Sometimes I've had things donated, like someone donated the money I needed for the solar panel, which doesn't work. We'll talk about it. And someone donated, I had a water tower break. So I had a water tank break apart, and they're expensive here. They're like over $200. So I had someone donate for me to get a new water tank at one point. But other than that, it's been just me doing whatever I can with the little bit that I have. I live in a very rural, small town. I don't have Wi-Fi here. So I go usually to the local library and I teach a Spanish class and some English classes. The classes have slowed down the last 2 years because there's this new program in our town where these Americans, this group of young American women come from the west of America, and they give English classes 5 days a week for free to the same age group that I was teaching before. So I don't have any of those students anymore because now they have an option to take a class for free. And it's a great class. It's 5 days a week. Awesome. I was only teaching them once or twice a week. But yeah, so my ability to make money teaching English to kids also has gone way down because even I am recommending to them to take that class because the local people don't have so much money to spend on English classes. So they're doing that. I used to teach some neighbors English, but now they've moved. So it's just like, I'm just finding money here and there. Honestly, what I make the most money from is when I give my inner child healing sessions, which gives me a good bit like to survive off of as far as like just eating. Don't cry. What's wrong? Stop crying. And that also fluctuates. So
Did she
there are
say her
times when
inner
I'm giving
child
sessions
classes?
regularly. Like right now, I've been
Oh my
giving sessions
Lord.
pretty
Okay,
regularly.
any
Yeah,
idea?
she did.
A whole month or 2
What
months
is
without
an
giving a
inner
single
child
session. And
session?
I have no idea. That's the niche group.
they're now donation based as well. So everyone donates differently. Some people give me like literally $5, y'all. No lie. Some people just obviously do not value my time or energy or offering. but they give what they can, and other people give me as much as like $70 or $80. But again, it varies completely. The money that I'm making basically is just enough for me to survive and feed myself and put gas in my quad. It's not enough for me to like have just $500 on the sides that I can buy some materials and get a project done on the farm. And that's the thing in Costa Rica, like building materials and these types of things.
You know, I'm vaguely unsympathetic.
I'm very unsympathetic. I don't. You got to have a service people want. You got to be prepared to go to another country. I don't know what she thought would happen. And the average income
Well,
in Costa Rica, I looked it up. It's only about $20,000 US, and their cost of living is only about 33% less than ours. So they
well,
really
I'm
don't have
kind
a
of
lot of money.
interested how and why. Well, why she went there in the first place? Was it following a man? But all I'm saying is that this is just weird. You know, she's obviously, well spoken and all that. I mean, when did you realize that, gee, this isn't working out?
Yeah, seriously. Kind of
This
an
is pretty
entitled uh, venture, right? Like it's like,
well. I mean, she looks like she's in pretty decent health. Her skin looks nice.
yeah.
Of course I'm looking at the phenotype here. I'm pretty impressed, but this is just a weird story.
Yeah, there's no tragedy behind it. There's no cause, and now she's trying to pick up the pieces. Like, I made a choice to do this.
Doing the most, they get on my nerves. But yeah, you need to have hundreds and hundreds of dollars just to buy materials, and then you need to also pay for labor, and that needs to be money that's not cutting into your personal living expenses. Of just, for me, I don't pay rent, so I only have to pay for food and transportation, and that's it. And also I do travel back and forth to the States at times, so also having money to put aside to go towards tickets. So yeah, I have not had that this entire time living here. I stay true to this mission because I really value being here on the land.
What
I
is her
value having the
mission?
freedom and the time to work on music, to plant things, to learn about permaculture, to like have the freedom to go and volunteer and help other people with their projects and not be tied down to like a job with a really strict schedule. So there are many things that I
So
value about the way
basically,
that
she
I've been
doesn't
living.
want to be an
But at the end
adult.
of the day, now I'm in the
Exactly.
part and I'm working on a fundraiser. And at first,
I
the
I have
donations were
spent the
coming in,
past
but now
few
it's really
years trying
stagnant.
to avoid being
And just
an adult.
really sitting with like,
And I'm cute, so
I
I
am
thought it would work.
done begging for money.
Hey, you know what? I think she's cute too.
I'm so done with that. I'm so over it. Like,
She is cute.
this is a new era, and I need to be working more. I need to be putting in the effort and the energy to create more abundance for myself.
Yeah.
And ever since I made that decision, it's been working out. I'm currently offering an inner child healing course, a virtual course. And so far, I've had several people sign up. So I'm really happy. That's
Okay.
going to
You
bring
know
me some
what?
abundance. And I think I'll host a few of them throughout the year. I've had, like I said, a lot more inner child healing clients in general. I'm collaborating with two other women on a women's retreat on the Caribbean coast of Costa Rica. It's happening in November. I'll leave the link in the description.
You're
I'm
going?
working with this organization called Liberated Daughters, and we're
Sign
doing
me up.
women's retreats. So also stuff like that. Like I
Well,
love giving retreats, but
could go back to
collaborations
Costa
are more
Rica.
profitable because we collectively bring our energy together and our resources together to put together an offering that's super valuable and super potent. So I'm very excited for that, and I hope that it leads to more collaborations with women. If you're a woman out there who watches me, who does virtual workshops or retreats or something that you feel like I could fit into, or even if you need musicians for something, I make beautiful music. You can find, I have a playlist here on YouTube with my music, so you can check it out. And I have more coming out soon. Singer, songwriter, playing guitar. So if you
Do you
feel that
now?
I could fit into something that you're creating, like let's collaborate, because I'm so exhausted of doing everything by myself. I'm so tired. I'm
Why don't
so
you
tired.
just
So all
find
of
a
this
man?
is based on
You know
my
what? I was gonna
inspiration
actually
for
comment
why
on
I'm
that.
going to be leaving the
I
farm.
looked it up, and
A
the
Costa
marriage is
Rican
actually
man.
kind of low there, and the average age for a man to get married is 34, and a woman is
Not by
31.
car.
So
I'm actually just going to be renting
surprised by that.
place. Actually, there's a woman I just met nearby who has an off-grid space, but she has cabins already built. So I think there. I'm also looking
Wasn't
at their
the
options, still
guy
deciding.
that
But it's
stole
gonna be
B
something
Brave's
close
wife
by
from
because
Costa
I'm leaving the
Rica?
dogs here because my dogs don't have no
You know
sense,
what?
and I
I
can't
don't
take
know
them
about
nowhere.
any of that, and I just don't need to know. But I don't know. This is definitely interesting. Not interesting enough for me to pursue farther than this video, but she is really like good looking. I'm not sure I'm into the hair that much, but you know what? If she said, "Hey, I'm going to keep my hair," I might consider
Yeah,
it.
man.
Seems like she probably had like a naive view of I just want to go live somewhere else and be free and live amongst the
Yeah,
people,
but
and
you know
it
what?
got hard
21
and
21 is not that young.
yeah, not really.
You know, I
And
could
then
see if it
maybe now
was
she just doesn't want to have to like fail.
well,
You know what I mean?
like she said, she's tired of living among the termites.
Yeah, and the big millipedes and the oh my gosh, there's so many bug bites. Just being out and about at night, it's like they eat you alive.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna have to go back to gardening here. She's depressing me. I wonder how old she is though. Would you say early 30s, maybe?
But she said that she's been there 10 years, right? She
Yeah.
would be early 30s, yeah, 31, yeah.
Now she actually looks she probably looks closer to 40, at least in this still shot right here. Let's see here. Let's do this. This is my ASMR.
That sun can damage your skin.
My previous videos, you guys saw me harvest all the peas that were trellised on here. But now we have the sweet potatoes, which are growing so vigorously. We've been getting such a perfect mix of
She's in
rain
North
and
Carolina, by the
sunshine.
way.
So everything in this garden is just growing at full speed. And our Thai basil is still here. And I let it flower because the pollinators really love the flowers on this Thai basil. And I love this scent. Just like being close to it, it smells so good. Moving on over to this bed. Look at this. Look at how tall these melons have become. Like, it's crazy. This here are cantaloupe plants, and there are about 4 or 5 of them planted along this trellis on the side of this garden bed. You can't even see the bed, it's so covered with foliage, but they have grown really, really tall, and they're just taking off, and they're looking so beautiful. And we even have some baby melons, which I'm going to show you guys in a few minutes if I can find them. But look at these other sweet potatoes. Wow. And my favorite part is that we have sweet potato flowers. Oh my goodness, are they not lovely? They are so lovely.
It looks like those weeds.
So yeah, our sweet potatoes are flowering, which I hadn't even thought about. I didn't think about happening, but it just, oh my goodness, it takes me back to my childhood. Look at this. Look at that. Oh, it's just so lovely to see the sweet potatoes flowering. And in this corner, the zinnias are blooming and they're looking so beautiful and vibrant. And the bumblebees and the butterflies absolutely love them. And over on this side, the cilantro has gone to seed, which is okay because this is another corner that the pollinators love. They love these flowers, and we just let them have at it. And more sweet potato flowers. Oh my goodness. It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. And in here is where I had seen those baby they have gotten really big. Let me show you. Do you see those? The melons in there? Look at that.
Look at all those wholesome leaves in the bag. She's sticking her hands in there.
So that's what's going on in this corner of the garden. This trellis is a very busy trellis with the sweet potatoes on this side and the melons on this side. It's just so much beautiful greenery that's going on. I need to come back in here and trellis these once again. I am coming in here at least a few times a week to trellis because they are growing so fast that I can't even keep up with them. And some of them will kind of hook themselves onto the trellis, like here. And you see that one, it just, oh my goodness, it took all the way off. But sometimes they need a little help finding where to attach themselves. All right, so moving on to this tomato bed. In my previous video, you guys saw me pruning these tomatoes, and they are growing so vigorously. They're growing so tall thanks to all of the rain that we've been having. And look at how luscious this basil is looking right now. We just had pizza night 2 days ago, and I came out here and harvested so much basil, and we were so excited to have our first harvest of homegrown basil. And the tomatoes are doing lovely, and they're growing so beautifully. We're about to have a harvest here, as you can see, our first harvest of 2025. I'm really excited about that. And that's how the tomato bed is doing. And there's lots of herbs in here. We have, this is chamomile, which I started from seed indoors, like
Ooh,
probably
nice.
back in like
Like
March
chamomile tea.
or February. And as
Yeah,
you
that's a
can
good one.
see, it's getting ready to bloom here any minute. And we've got marigolds in here. I just love marigold. More chamomile. This is calendula. No, is it? It's
By the
not.
way,
I don't remember. I think I have.
my father-in-law left today. He's been down here for a few days, and he does not like caffeinated stuff. So I've been making iced chamomile tea. It's actually really good. It's just like herbal tea, no caffeine or anything. It makes good iced tea. If anybody ever gets the idea to do that.
I've had it when it was hot, but yeah, it's for calming, right? So is it more for like a nighttime thing?
You know what? I just like the taste.
Oh, okay.
And the
Yeah,
only
I don't think it
reason
would
I
put me to
thought
sleep
to make
either.
well, my father-in-law just, he's anti-caffeine. So, but I mean, to be honest, I usually make like green tea, a green iced tea. I prefer it to the darker teas. Chamomile, I just did it because it didn't have caffeine, but I can tell you right now, uh, I will probably start making it instead of even green tea.
Oh, here it is. Oh, echinacea, coneflower. My bad. It's echinacea. And more Thai basil and more chamomile on this side. I made
That
sure to
almost looks
put a
like
lot of
dill.
herbs with the tomatoes so
Yeah,
that
that was different.
they because herbs are natural pest repellents, but also they attract the beneficial insects, which sometimes eat pests or they just kind of keep them away. So we have lots of those going on in the garden. And moving on to this potato bed. Over on this side, this potato bed has been here since March. I think I planted it March 1st, and now we are finally reaching the home stretch. I think I'm going to leave these for one more week, and then I'm going to go ahead and come back and harvest them probably next Sunday. And I'm really excited. I feel like this is going to be a much bigger harvest than the ones we got from this bed, because these ones I did harvest early so that I could make space for my tomatoes. But these ones I've just really let them have their time, and I'm excited to harvest them and see what we get from them. over on this side. You guys have seen this bed lots of times because I'm
You know
always
what?
harvesting from
My
it.
buddy,
Always
my
getting lots
buddy
and lots
just
of
came on.
greens.
We're gonna have to have a look.
Okay, you can be a novice gardener like that in North Carolina, not like where I
Well,
live.
I can
No.
tell you right now, I had a garden when I lived up in Northern Virginia, and it is just, I'm using the term ASMR a lot these days. I loved gardening. It was just, my son was young at the time, so it's always fun to do stuff like that with kids. But at the end, because for instance, my wife would call it like a salsa garden. She would just basically tomatoes, peppers, onions, that sort of thing.
Oh yeah, I think I remember you talking about that. Yeah, that sounds good.
I don't know. Gardening is just really just cool.
It's so hard here with the desert climate. That's why a lot of people don't think do it. But I could be with someone that like to do it so I could help, but I don't just do it myself.
Well, I mean, tomatoes and peppers are real easy to do just in buckets.
Oh really? Yeah, well I live in apartments. I mean I wouldn't do it here, but just like as far as
You
the
do it out
daily
on a
upkeep,
balcony.
you have to do so much like
Those flowers
tending
are
to them.
purple and white. It's just a
Is
light.
it your friend?
No, actually, I guess it's her friend. This lady, I ran into her over on Freezy's. I think it was Freezy. I think it's Freezy's. She's like a moderator, and
Oh, she
she's
looks
a
familiar.
chef.
What's her name?
She's a chef. She goes by Chef Big Bank. She might still be in the hospital. She had like brain surgery or something. And one of these days I'll go back and show. She did a show just before she went into the hospital where she kind of tells her story and stuff. It was like really kind of inspirational, but also kind of scary because she'd had like a brain tumor or something and didn't know it. And I forget exactly how she found out she had it, but it explained a lot of things that had been happening up till then. So anyway, I've been
Who's
kind
this?
of
She goes by 907 Good Eats on Freezy's. Yeah, you're right. She's Freezy.
yeah, and I call her, Chef. Chef Big Bank is kind of another name she goes by, but she actually does a cooking show.
Yeah, brain tumor is
And
like not very good chance, so that's awesome that she's doing well. Those
Yeah,
are
well,
kind of one of the
minute
worst
there,
ones.
for a minute there, Stanley, I thought you was talking about Paula Dean.
no, but I just happened like one Saturday, I was kind of curious and I hopped on her show and she and two other guests and I were talking about mullet, the fish. You know what? We got to talking about food and I've never like talked with people who were like foodies, black foodies. And man, we were dude, I had a great time. So ever since
So I was
then,
like, had a moment with that.
but I just it's really cool to talk to people who are like into food. She is like a professional chef or was. So, I was watching a show where she's preparing for a cookout the next day. Dude, I got like tips for laying out like the sliced American cheese. Just the way she laid them out, because that cheese can get sticky sometimes.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
the
you
way
put
she
them.
Did she crisscross them kind of?
Yeah,
like
yeah,
corner
like
corner,
spade.
like stars.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
You call it.
I've seen that.
You know what? I never thought to do it. So
and I put my lettuce and tomatoes under ice and all that shit too.
Yes. So apparently she's not going to be. Oh, there she is. But she just had like literal brain surgery.
Inside crazy too.
Wow.
It was like counting down a lock of.
Well, God
But
bless.
thank y'all for all the blessings.
Yeah, she was had really
flowers,
reasonable, like
prayers.
interesting.
Did you click the
opinions.
link in the group
In my
chat,
view.
Kiki? It might just. It said he's supposed to be able to like join in.
Is that the
You
Kiki
gotta
from
click the
Drip
link in
Show?
the group chat. She's sitting on Facebook.
That's the Kiki from Drip Show. She's cute.
And how you doing to Terlonius? I feel like I'm about to butcher this name. I'm butchering names tonight. I'm trying.
But yeah, her opinions were like always like very down to earth and like just sensical to me when she would comment on
Yeah,
Freeze's
we were supposed to
panel.
do this live yesterday, but man, yesterday was a hot mess. It
Oh, it's in Kiki
was
forever.
a
She's
straight,
so sweet.
straight I hot
spent
mess.
right after the surgery, I spent 2 days in the ICU. Very, very painful. Very painful. But one thing I noticed that like when I did wake up, Kiki was right there. You know, it was a different experience than last time.
She's got a
Last time
daughter
nobody
also.
was there. You know, because it was COVID. So I spent the 2 days in the ICU. Very, very tough. Hurts to even be alive. All you can do is sleep and get some pain meds.
I wonder if it's just like a
How
really
you
bad
doing,
headache feeling.
Stanley?
If that's what it is.
Stanley said, "Hey, chef, good to see you." I am gonna read the comments to her because she does have a hard time seeing right now with the comments and stuff. I will read them to her.
Oh, is she live right now?
Yes.
Oh, we're watching real time. Okay,
So,
cool.
I left the hospital after a couple of days and I went to rehab. And they're helping me like walk.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
Get
She's
my
got to
like
like
motor skills
relearn how to
back.
walk and all.
And
I was kind of
they
wondering
said
that, like,
I'm
what
gonna be going home
depending
like
on
She
where
got
in
to
your
do
brain it
Friday. I have
is.
a rough
rehab. She
day
got to do
today.
therapy.
I have a little bit of a
Right.
Oh,
fever.
she's
Yes,
lucky though. I mean,
period.
honestly, to not have it affect her mental like capacity, right?
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, she's got to relearn a bunch of things.
She
But
does. Okay.
she described it before she went to the hospital. It's going to be pretty intense. But you know, she's a real pleasant person. You know,
Yeah.
she's one of those people that, you know, you just sit there and listen to her talk and cook. She's real pleasant, real, you know, kind of inspirational, to be honest. You know,
Well,
for
that's
you
described to
know,
her. Yeah, I just like
so,
on Freeze's panel, I get crazy and people say crazy stuff, but she was always so normal acting to me. I was like, I like her. She seems just like level headed, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, these are one of my flowers somebody got me. I'm gonna show y'all the other one.
Yeah, those,
but,
they're
you know,
really
there were
pretty.
people like, "Hey, we're gonna come up to Alaska." I mean, she had
And
people
I have
like,
a
"We're gonna
nice
come
like
up there and
window
take
view
care
over
of you."
here.
Oh, that's where she is in Alaska. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice little window
She
view. And then those are
basically
my other flowers.
her family's up there because I asked, you know, you're gonna have family up there, so I can't remember. She might even be from Alaska, and she lived in Portland for a while, and then she wound up coming back to Alaska. She's been married and divorced and stuff, but yeah,
But
I
oh no,
think
everything's been
pretty sure
going
her
good.
family's from Alaska,
Besides
which
the
is
little fever
rare,
she got right
you know,
now.
It
for
is, yeah. That's why I was
Everything's
surprised.
check
It's
her and see
beautiful
what's
there.
going on with that.
My parents have gone on like those where you go
We've
deep
been
sea
like,
fishing and they take you out
all
on,
right,
you
but
know, and you
besides
get catch like an
yesterday,
80-pound halibut. Yeah.
I think I'm still irritated by yesterday though. I ain't
From
gonna
my
lie.
grandparents.
I partially got over it, but I think I'm still pretty
I'll
mad.
be right back.
I'm still like, I did not expect none of that to happen yesterday. We were supposed to do like, man. I gotta charge up this phone some more. I gotta get you a case too. I gotta find you a case for it. I think they got some at I know
So, did
there's
you have any other updates you wanted to add or anything else you wanted to say? Y'all, before we got on here, Toy had so much to say.
I know I did. Then I just like my brain went pew.
Yes, she has so much to say. She be on the phone with me for hours.
Yeah, but oh no, everything's been good with TT. Um My mind went so blank. Like she's making it. She feels a little bit uncomfortable about some things that are going on, but we're gonna work it out and she gonna be fine. Like I told her, I wouldn't have came out if you I wouldn't have cared if you had one leg that was not working, as long as you were still here.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
So you're thinking on Saturday I'll go back home and I'll do outpatient therapy.
Yeah, so go ahead and put the camera back on you, TT. I feel like I'm just looking at flowers.
You don't want to talk to the flowers?
No.
Why? I'm sweating.
You say you're sweating?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You might
Getting a
have
fever.
like a yeah, might just be out there's a little bit of a fever going on. And Truth says salutations all. How are you doing? Yeah, well, we just wanted to get on here.
People down here in the comment section. What on you guys?
I'm looking down at it. It's the comments that are coming up. I think
Maybe mine stopped working. The last one I see is time for tea.
yeah, okay, no, I think yours stopped working.
But Kiki got me all these Powerades.
Yeah, no, Kiki came through with them Powerades and them body. I think was it all Powerades and body armor or something like that. Truth said, "Looking good, girl, and healing up good." I see.
Yeah, I'm very blessed to make it. Like to survive all this. It's just life is crazy.
It is. But you know what? It's a blessing that you're still here with us and that we are making everything work out. We're doing it.
Yeah. I'd be like crying at night, like, I can't believe it, Like
Yeah. And so many people, and when I made that video, the first video I made on Facebook, girl, I went back and looked at it, right? Remember how I told you it was up to like 600 something views?
Mm-hmm.
Girl, it's at 9.
So many people have reached out to me. Apparently, they're not subscribed to my YouTube channel because they already know what's going on. But so many people have reached out to me because of that video that you made. I'm like, oh, I had no idea. It's like,
yeah.
But I feel like whatever you have going on in life, you should not let it hold you back.
No,
you should try.
No, you shouldn't. That's what some people be doing.
So right now, it feels like my this side of my face doesn't move, and I had
something. And the fact that you think you're a human fucking being, because and you can go around and
Yeah, apparently this is Slick Rick has seen fit to tell us about a crash out.
up and go back to your little channel. Stay
Okay, this is actually interesting.
Imperious be like, I've always wanted to be dominated by a real man.
No. The difference is you're being dominated by a real man right now.
You have the
most
brattiest
real man right
energy.
now. All I'd have to do is
if
ask
you. If was a girl, I'd
all I gotta
know.
do is ask you how it feels. All I
I
gotta do
wonder.
is
I can't remember if they already hated each other or if this is new.
because I just fucked you.
They've been kind of going after each other for a while, I
You're
guess.
sitting there with your cheek down.
Gay.
No, sir, you're gay. Because you're the one that acts like a woman. The inference of is not somebody who's just a butt fucker. That's you
Oh, my Lord.
innately because you're a bitch. No,
Is out of pocket.
A lot of projecting going on there, Bubba.
There's a lot of faggots who would actually fight someone one-on-one. You're the little faggot that runs from people and runs like a little
Nigga,
bitch.
how did I run? I sent you my literal
I don't want
address.
your, I don't want your. Just go to a neutral place. We'll sign a waiver. When I break your fucking face, you won't say shit, and you'll have no repercussion. Why don't we come to
We
your house?
can meet in the. We can meet at the city fountain
meeting
that I
in
live
woods.
in.
No.
Like,
We're gonna do it and tape it. We'll do it and tape it.
No, meeting in the woods.
We're not meeting in the woods or the corner. No. We're going to do it, and we're going to do it in an MMA gym, so we sign waivers and everything. And so afterwards, I have no repercussions. That's all. We'll do it that like men. I don't need to come to your house and hug.
This
That's
is
a
so fucking gay.
nigger way. That's a nigger way. That is the nigger way. That's the nigger way, sir. I'm not black.
Oh my lord!
I don't know them fucking dirty ass
Oh,
hands.
no.
Boy, you don't even know what the fucking meaning of soap and water is.
Yeah,
Sir,
you know
sir,
what?
My hands. The money on one of my ring on my hands is worth more than your yearly paycheck. Shut the fuck up, you SSI loving bitch.
Bro, you are literally swinging at the air
Dude, you're
because
more
I do not
worthless than an
care
illegal
to
alien.
say.
I'd rather have an illegal that's Catholic than a faggot who thinks he's a Christian. Shut the fuck up, bitch. Like you said, Orthodox guy. You little bitch. You think you're
You know,
exactly.
Slick Rick.
Orthodox.
You, dude, you remind me of
Hey, Slick Rick, this is actually kind of mild. You call this a crash out? I don't know.
Yeah, this is like daily life for Imperius.
Yeah, this is like white boy mild.
Even said I'm attorney. Yeah, I sent it to CT. I sent it to Gimpy. Yeah. That's the difference. See, you're so fucking stupid. That's why I'm saying everyone's fucking laughing. Do you not think everyone's laughing at literally
Then why do
dozens
they
of
still
Discord?
call? Then why do they still call you a fake lawyer?
Because that's the gist, dude. Just like they call Moxie's husband a fake attorney. You fucking idiot.
No, they don't. They call you.
So how many
a
times does
fake
Moxie
attorney.
go? CT calls me a fake attorney when? CT's on his show said, "Oh no, he definitely is an attorney." Yeah. Gimpy says the
They
same.
usually will believe him. He knows a lot.
Does not.
He knows a lot about the law. I gotta give him that.
You want me to text him right now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll text him right now. And what Discord are you in so that he can text you and say, yeah, he is.
Just tell him.
Because like I said, I fucked the game.
CT's not gonna do that.
So let me ask you a question. What are the stakes? So if I'm right, I'll kill myself. If you're right or you're wrong, will you kill yourself?
What?
No, you're not a Christian. Shut the fuck
His
up.
brain is just always on
Don't
extra.
You're not, bitch.
So why are you sure? Why are you trying
you don't know what a
to
sin
use
is?
a
You're not a
sin?
Christian. A sin is a Christian definition. Shut the fuck up. You're not a Christian. You might as well be a fucking Buddhist.
Are you done?
No, I'm not done. I'll tell you when I'm done. When I'm done, I'll
Man,
give you
if I wanted my comeback, I'd wipe it off your fucking chin. Just be done.
Bitch, if I want your lip, I'll toggle my zipper, faggot.
Oh my god.
If I want your lip, I'll toggle my zipper.
Yeah.
If I want your lip, I'll toggle my zipper. Shut up, bitch. Come clean my shoe.
So this isn't the Catholics you know,
Exactly.
Stanley.
This little bitch. There we go.
No.
Another victim. Thank you.
I can
thank
tell you
Stanley.
right now, I literally grew up. I'm a cradle Catholic, and we just had a slightly more. I've never
figured.
come across. I've never come across like this dude. This dude is like a Mel Gibson Catholic. I mean, I do know that there are conservative Catholics, like kind of almost like evangelical Catholics, but I didn't grow up. I've never met one like in real life.
Yeah, and it's like 777. He's a Catholic. He kind of has that same mouth,
Goes around talking.
My wife was Catholic. I call myself a cultural Catholic. I'm not particularly religious, but if I had to choose a religion, it wouldn't be any other but Catholic. I was trained by Benedictines, like Jesuits, Benedictines, people who are a little bit more, maybe more secular than many people would like. I don't get Imperious. Some of the stuff,
you may be
just a
having
little over the top for me.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
me
right.
too.
The bitch is back. Isn't that Elton John's song?
Like
I think
some
it
of
was
the,
Rod Stewart and
some of the
Tina
stuff that he says is just like, I've literally never heard a Catholic even think like
okay.
that.
All right.
I think it's an Elton song. I can be
Yeah.
better than you. The way that I move, the things that I do. Oh.
Okay. Now that one, I think you might be. Yeah. I think you might be right on that one. That one you might be right on. Hold on, because.
Oh, Orthodox guy left.
Okay. Hold on.
Can you hear me
Oh,
now?
probably.
Yes,
Oh,
I hear
there he
you.
is.
He's back.
Good.
Ask Daddy's permission before you speak, bitch.
My dad's dead and over there on
Good.
the
I'll dig his ass
dresser.
up and shit down his throat, faggot.
Believe this or not, Imperious and I, whenever we are on a panel, we'll get off talking history or law or something like that. I've literally never had a reason to crash out. I mean, we usually literally have good conversations. So
Imperious.
yeah,
I've had good ones too with him. He is to get off his.
He is actually smart.
He is.
And I think sometimes, like Orthodox, I think is a lightweight.
He's young. Yeah.
No, he's literally a lightweight. He's not that young.
Oh, he's not. I thought he was in like his 20s or something.
20, dude, like I was telling somebody, when I was 22, 23, I was literally making life and death decisions. So,
Yeah, I was married at 22, so
I don't
get it.
think, if you tell me you're 23, 24, 25, you're not that young. I know what people that age are capable of.
Definitely, I think you're right, but I think you learn more about how the world works as you get older. I think he doesn't really see the whole picture.
Naturally, but I think there are things like being in the military. Being in the military will mature you quicker.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted, I don't think it'll happen, but who knows? Maybe it will. I literally wanted my son to go to the Naval Academy because I think I think it would be good for him. Because I actually think he's smart. I actually think he would be of benefit, to the Navy. But alas, it's not to be. What do we have here? Oops, it's this one that I want to go to, I think. And I don't know. You know what though? Angel, you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Oh my Lord, you're just sitting there silent. You do know you can contribute, right?
Yeah, I know. I just don't know what to say at this point.
fuck it. Just
Imperious
say
is
whatever.
a smart man, but I sometimes feel as though he gets a little too triggered amongst his arguments towards people.
Yeah. No, I you know what? It is just weird how he and I can have like a civil conversation and have him. It's just weird. He will go from this conversation he just had with Orthodox to talking like principles of the law.
Yeah, I noticed that. If he tries to bait me with the women thing, should shut up, and I just ignore it for a couple of insults. Then he like stops trying, and then we can have good conversations. Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna be honest. This manosphere, it weirds me out to hear people talk about women the way they do. And Deacon Dave, goes, well, Stanley, you're a simp, that sort of thing. I just was not raised to, and it's not like I necessarily pedestalize or put women up on a pedestal. It's just I was taught like you just don't treat women like that. You know, there's a basic level of respect.
Yeah. And
It just
caring, like naturally
some of
caring
the
for a
things,
woman.
some of the things that I have heard people say, you know, just as a matter of course, just like make the hair stand on the back of my neck. I'm like, dude, I would never say that. Um, you know, it's just kind of like, you know what, my mother, you know, demanded respect and a certain level of decorum. And if you've ever been married and had a wife, they're just things you just don't say. You know, even if you think them,
Yeah,
just
or
say 'em.
even want to really. I mean, you think them, but you don't want to say it out loud because you don't want to be hurtful. I know I've you've seen it in a couple of the last couple panels. I've seen, you know, you were in the comments, but it baffles me. And I don't think it's an age thing. They try to make it say, oh, you guys are just old. But my daughter is married. She got married at 23. Her husband's 26. So they've been married a year now. And they're so nice to each other. He's so kind to her. You know, I think it's not an age. It's just a trend, and it's not a good trend. Like I don't know
Well,
what they're thinking to get out of it.
it's just I think it's just like ill. I'm gonna be honest, it's ill breeding. You know, some of these motherfuckers are just ill bred. It's like, where were you raised in a fucking sewer? You
I
know,
know. I don't. Yeah, like
you
I
know.
don't understand what their parents taught them. It's like it's weird.
Well, like you know, last night I'm not kidding when I say like Solid Snake just fucking shocked the hell out of me. How can he say women should just blanket respect him? Like I'm like, dude, what have you done to like earn respect?
Yeah.
Just shocking.
And who asks for respect? You can tell someone respects you or not, and whether you ask for it or not isn't going to change the damn thing. So it doesn't really do any good to try to command this respect. You know,
Well, you know
you
what? You don't command it. Dude, you
it just
can
it
believe
commands
me.
itself
You
by
don't.
your actions.
If you're having to tell people you need them to respect you, that'll never happen.
Exactly. It's not even a choice people have. They either respect you or they don't.
Especially if they're adults. I mean, you can kind of get away with something like that, you know, if somebody's 8 years old, you know, respect your elders, but you know what? Um,
And
you know, you
respect
don't go up
comes with the
you don't go
condition.
up you don't go up sloppy drunk on somebody's panel telling them to respect you.
Yeah, and it's like just because there might be hierarchy of power doesn't mean there's not a mutual respect. Like even say you're like we'll take the military. Obviously, like the officers, the people below them don't have the same power, but they still show respect to their subordinates by being consistent and they have rules, but they follow them too. So it's like that is a form of respect. But you can't treat someone with zero respect and then think that they're going to respect you. Yeah, I'm with you. You can't tell people that.
I guess you figure. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to say it's triggering, but it's like you don't really want to delve into, maybe for whatever reason.
No. That's why I came over here because I seen the title. I'm like, oh well, shit. Maybe he's heard some shit about it. He can tell me about it.
All right,
like sum it up.
From what I can see,
nothing's gonna happen. The entire bill's blocked. Doesn't fucking matter. No court is gonna let it happen.
Okay. And I haven't reached my 10 minutes yet. Okay. But in as much as I have, and King Retard, if you want to come up here and just give you display your tap dance Tourette's with your locked jaw.
Maybe if Imperial starts talking about the law, that'll be interesting.
Because obviously you want my attention. But anyway,
I don't
from what I was able
think
to see,
any court's
at least
gonna
from
block
this summary,
the bill.
that there's going to
I
be
didn't
some
think so.
changes
I thought it was passed.
It did
at
pass.
the earliest from January of 2026. Many of which, especially with Medicare and with health insurance and health coverage, will probably go into effect statewide June of 2026 and October of 2026. One of which is actually going to be affecting non-citizens, aka illegal aliens. That's basically what I can say.
Okay,
So,
you know what? And this is where I
I
get
haven't had a
off the
chance to
train
go through all
here.
of it because there's a lot.
Okay.
But
Non-citizens does not automatically imply illegal aliens. God, you know, people are just fucking stupid. Okay. These guys lead with their prejudices. instead of actually thinking about what they're saying. How does
Temporary status
non-citizen?
would be
How does
better.
no? There's a whole range of non-citizens. If you're a legal resident, okay, a legal permanent resident, you are a non-citizen, but you're not illegal.
Oh,
There are
okay.
all kinds of different categories that you know you have a legal status. I just these guys I really don't get these these black conservatives. They really are dumb, like literally dumb. And the thing is these echo chambers that they're in, like nobody corrected this dude. If I'd been up on the panel, I would have corrected him. Like,
Yeah,
you know
words
what?
matter.
These echo chambers just reinforce sloppy thinking. And Silent Snake, I think, is a perfect example. People have let him get away with these stream of consciousness run on sentence style arguments where he never shuts up. He'll ask a question and just keep on talking. People have let him get away with it, and he just thinks that, hey, this is how it's done. And
I've
it just
noticed since
annoys me that people can say like people non-citizens aka illegals. Nobody checks that.
yeah, like I like to make clarifications to people if I know they say it wrong because I personally
Okay,
like
well, I can
that
tell you
too.
right now,
But I think
there is almost no one in this space that I even bother debating. I do the John Henrik Clark thing. Um, I debate with my equals or I debate with my peers, all others I teach. There's not enough people who know what the hell they're talking about in this space. I don't
but
debate. I literally
people take
like be, be brave. I don't debate be brave. He doesn't know enough.
yeah, I never found it to be an offensive thing to be someone corrects you on a term because I don't like to look stupid. So I don't want someone to tell me. But I've noticed here, I can see why people don't do a lot of correcting is because if you try to clarify something that's just factual, it's not emotional at all. They take it personally, like you're trying to say they're stupid or something. So I kind of can see
See?
why.
Well, see, if they come to me with that, I'm gonna go, yeah, I do think you're stupid. Let me confirm. You should be taking this personal because I actually think you're stupid. And I shock a lot of people with that attitude, but yeah, you
Yeah,
know
I've
what?
backed off trying to help people in that regards myself because
Well,
like it's
you
not
know
worth
what?
it.
I don't mind helping people out. I don't mind, giving references or suggesting books or whatever. But if you want to take it personal, then I'm going to let you take it personal. So, you know what? It is getting late and I actually do need to. I have not eaten dinner. What are these?
Okay. Yeah,
Um,
maybe I'll just go watch these guys argue for a minute. So
you know what? I was hoping there would be more fireworks. It's actually pretty tame.
I'll hop down, Stanley. Thanks for letting me come up and hang out. Good to
Okay.
see you,
Yeah,
Angel.
Angel.
Love you, Blue Jay.
Love you too. I'll see you guys soon.
Who's on is anybody on before you go on I think it's on Lolo's Discord. They're posting a bunch of pictures of
Well,
apparently
I'm
they're
gonna let you eat dinner since you haven't had dinner yet, and
Yeah, I
I
don't.
will see you again
Okay.
here
Well,
soon.
come on back anytime. And folks, everybody hit the like button on your way out. I am going to wrap this up because this is almost 4 hours and the time has passed. I actually had a good time and I will be back in the morning, but I don't know if it's going to be, it might be 5:45 or thereabouts. It might be a little bit later, but we shall see. But there is news to cover for tomorrow. Peace, tropes. Peace, Slick. Peace, even you, Mavid. Have a good night. Oh, you know what? Let's see here. Yep. See y'all tomorrow.
If you know somebody who drive a truck, I bet you he don't have a relationship with a lot lizard. All these truck drivers love these lot lizards. I promise. Lot lizard, come on baby, get inside the truck. Lot lizard, put your head down and ass up. Lot lizard, call me $40 just to fuck. Lot lizard, twerk, 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 twerk. And she at the truck stop, walking with her butt out, and she got her stomach out, and she only come out when the sun out. She's a lot lizard. She's a lot lizard. He can be your boyfriend, cousin, husband, daddy, brother. It don't even matter if he driving trucks all around the country and he making money. I bet you he fuck a lot lizard. Come on, baby, get inside the truck. Lot lizard. Put your head down and ass up. Lot lizard. Call me $40 just to fuck. Lot lizard. Twerk, 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 twerk. Twerk, 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 twerk. Twerk, 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 twerk. Lot lizard. Twerk, twerk.